Microphone check 1 2 1 2 faba chakaza abantu buli 1 2 ate buli bwe tuba owulira embuutu abateesa emitima gibakuba. This is not news. No Agnes Nandutu Ninja C GNL never number 2. You're chilling with the one and only her Ninjaness, the girl from Chiruhura. Today we are discovering why she's Uganda's best kept secret. Tumulina, tumufunye, fava mulina. Fava mulina. Now, her Ninjaness. Where do we begin this journey? This journey of the girl from Chiruhura. That's a title by the Van
Actually,
album,
so as of now,
Yes.
it is Kazo. It used to be Chiruhura, but
They
then
divided it.
So
Yes.
I'm actually from Kazo,
Kazo.
Remkoma, Mukulu.
Remkoma.
So that is the district, the
Parish.
parish, and
Yes.
the
Well, you said
Village.
Remkoma and then something else there, which I didn't
Mukulu.
understand. Mukulu, eh?
yes.
Gwen, your names are so mature of your village. You're like an indigenous woman.
I'm telling you, the roots.
The roots run deep. The roots run deep.
Yeah.
Ochilaba.
Yeah.
Still waters. Eh? Hey.
The blacker the berry.
The sweeter.
Yeah.
That was a setup. That
Yeah.
was a setup.
I was like, let's see how you're going to.
How do I
avoid
escape
that
this
trap.
one? That was a setup. Okay. I'm also going to lay down traps. Some big traps everywhere.
You can
And
never catch a ninja.
And I see how a ninja sidesteps these landmines. Eh?
We shall see. Let's
Okay,
see. Game
okay,
on.
Game on. So now, I would like you to spit something.
Some
people have been
bars.
telling us, the people watching this podcast have been telling us, how are you bringing MCs? And then the MCs are not spitting bars.
So me, I'm the MC who they want to start the experiment with.
Exactly. And I think rightfully so, because you're the female MC of the year.
I mean, but constantly I'm finding myself in positions where I have to constantly prove myself.
No, you don't have to even prove yourself, but it's just a matter of like,
Just
You know,
entertaining the viewers.
like,
Small.
like sometimes a queen needs to get out of her.
You gotta pop out and show niggas.
You gotta pop out and show niggas.
Yeah, okay.
Like before they know it. Yeah. Yes.
Before they know it, surprise.
The
Guys.
ninja drops a smoke bomb and appears.
Hey,
Yes.
But now us, we're real good to go like the real. Reminiscing of a time when I couldn't rap, not because I couldn't spit, but wasn't hood enough. So hip hop was a man's game, and I had a female name. I couldn't allow my royalty to reign. That even though I could spit verses, spit perfect with my lip gloss, nothing nice with made sense, and yet all I wanted was to be like the NCs. Put me on the same pedestal like the senseis. Hey, cause straight out the 256, I'm giving you that special fix. Let it run through your veins, have you screaming this ninja sick like an Avenger. I blow this brain to smith the brains. I got a vengeance. That's why they call me ninja. See?
Yeah! And you want me to follow that?
You already. The good thing is you already kicked off.
Yo, every time I see you, right? Your game has like improved over like 1,000-fold.
Really? I love that. Thank you. That makes me so happy.
And then you keep on, you're one of those artists who I know, like every time I see her feed, she always has a surprise for the people. Something they didn't know she could do. There's like a new special superpower that she's unveiling.
Listen, in the world that we're living in, you have to keep people on their toes, but also just challenge yourself in that way. Yeah.
Where did that come from? The Bajita Batia? The beatboxing or disc banging while rapping?
School.
Because few people do that actually in UG. I know it's a thing people do in like Western schools, whatever. But few people do it in UG.
No, but even in school,
Yeah.
me in the primary school I was in, when the teacher didn't show up, that was like the happiest day. You were expecting to have 2 hours of a boring SST lesson, and then now the person hasn't shown up, and then you had to figure out a way to pass the time.
Yes.
So other people would have conversations, other people would play games.
Yes.
Do you remember that car? What was it called? Syndicate. Like
Syndicate, no.
It was you have a paper, and then you have a team. So in one corner, like let's say if I'm Cynthia, I put my team C. Then in another corner, you put your team G.
Yes.
Then you get the pen. then you do.
Oh, that's
Do you
what
remember
they
that
call
game?
syndicate.
Yes, syndicate. And then you put the letter C and you mark your territory.
Yes,
until
yes.
I eat yours, you eat mine. I eat yours.
You eat some, put some.
Aha.
So who ate yours?
So those are the games we'd play, but most of
She has jumped that trap. Did you see it? I told you the game is on.
the game is on, but by the end you will realize you can't catch a ninja. No, so those are the games.
Ninja. Okay, that was smooth. That was smooth. Yes,
those are the games we would play, and
Yes.
then also like just banging. Do you remember we bang the tables,
So
we
you love-
disturb the tea.
So you used to love banging.
Yeah, like
Got
yeah. I mean that one is not even a trap. I'm
Okay.
unashamed.
Okay,
Like,
unashamed.
I am unashamed.
Yes,
In all the ways.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, so and when I think back now, I'm like,
Yeah.
no wonder I ended up liking hip hop and relating to hip hop, because when you get into that beat and
Yes,
melody
yes,
and
yes.
the rhythm of things so
Yes,
early
yes.
in life, it kind of just sets up your mind to think like that. And then on
Always
top of
think
that,
like
I was
that,
in a
yeah.
school of MDD. And my school liked MDD.
Yes.
We had concerts at the end of every term.
I like that.
Yeah.
No, when I was in school, I hated that. Did you like it?
I would be, you know, those people who they pick and then they're like in the front row.
Twesa yo de yo, teacher.
Let me tell you. Now I'm set and I'm in the
Yes,
front
yes,
with my raffia
yes.
skirt and my
Yes.
rato shakers.
Oh, chitegeda.
Yeah. That was
Representing.
exactly.
But I think I didn't like mine over, because in particular, used to make us do, we were singing like Western choir types of solfas.
Yeah, I did that in my
You
high
did-
school.
You did that too, yeah?
Yeah, and imagine, do you know who was my teacher at some point?
Let me see. Let me see.
Even if you tried, you would never guess.
A teacher.
A teacher.
I'm going to find a name. I was going to diss a rapper saying that he's not old.
No, actually,
Let me
this person
spare.
was not old.
Eh?
They were a teaching assistant at that time. Because MDD, you can do, like anyone can do, even me now at my
Maurice
age.
Chiria.
I told you, even if I gave you 10 guesses, you wouldn't.
Okay.
Let me just make it easier.
Okay.
Pablo Chimuli.
No way. Pablo
Yeah.
Chimuli is a musician.
Yeah, he
Okay,
used to
this
come.
is news. Uh-huh.
He used to come and he was a teaching assistant and he would help us. So that Western choir thing that you're saying,
Yes, yes.
where you're singing in alto and
Alto,
other people
but
are soprano, and then
Yes.
you combine the voices
Yes,
and there's
yes.
someone conducting. Yeah,
Yes.
he used to teach us that. He taught us about round music. You know those songs where like I'm singing, but you're also singing, but we're singing different things.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now that I'm grown up, I love hearing it. Actually, I didn't even hate the experience. I hated the experience that our rehearsals were after prep. So because this school, the houses used to want to compete for the biggest prize. So they are over making you work after prep.
Right.
And you're like, no, guys, I want to be in bed. Slaps, what? The whole experience was totally bad for me.
Now
But
for-
I like the music itself where they're like, no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. I
yeah.
love that. I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Our school was so MDD centered that
Yes.
like in that period, like after every term there was a presentation, but there was a specific one which was called MAPA, and we used to perform it at Makere, like the
Makere.
main stage.
Yes.
So in that, towards the end of that term,
Which school is this, by the way? I
Makere
didn't ask
College.
you. Oh, you are in Makere
Yeah.
College. Okay, now it makes sense.
yeah,
It
but
makes
but
sense.
earlier when I was talking about the beatboxing and the
Yes,
banging on this,
yes.
that was primary. That was Lohana.
Okay.
So all the schools I've gone to have kind of really been centered
yes,
around.
yes, yes.
So
yes.
in that term, the last 3 weeks, the
Yes.
last 2 weeks of school,
Yes.
there would be no prep.
Yeah.
You would just come to school
Yeah.
to practice. So
Yeah,
us, we enjoyed.
I think that's fun. You guys enjoyed it.
We
Yes. By the
enjoyed.
primary school, I enjoyed it. Was the secondary school, which was like,
It's like a punishment.
I want my individuality. Sagala byakungamba,
Or was
take
it a
God
dull
with this.
sense that was making you
It
feel
could
too
have
cool
been
for your
also.
boots?
It was.
You're
It
like,
could have been.
"Wanda
too.
bebatia, ngandi ku stage," and yet now
No,
here you are.
There was no Bande Babatia, by the way, because it was like everybody was participating.
Right.
But I'm one of those people who likes having their own timetable. I don't want people. I've never gone. The only reason I'm a rapper, by the way, one of the only reasons I'm a rapper is because it's the only space I find where I can live the life I want to live on my own terms.
Okay.
It's my own company, so it's my schedule. It's my own album, it's my own expression, so I dictate when the music comes out. It's my hair, I dictate whether it has to be cut off. There's no like, I'm putting you in an office and this is the professional look.
So for you, you're just
I
like
found that it's
free
Yes,
chords.
yes,
You don't like
yes.
that structure of I need to be doing this at this time.
Yes.
Okay.
I work hard. I work hard because I know I can go hard and the people around me are like, this guy is insane. Eh? But then again, because that's driven by passion, I'm working on something that I like.
True.
But put me in a room and tell me to work on over, I don't care, no matter how much money it pays.
Yeah.
Are you like that as well? Are you pushed by passion or are you...
I'm in the middle.
Do you have that discipline of structure?
I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, I guess just growing up in a family where everyone was just expected to be the best.
Yes.
And when you're expected to be the best, there's certain kind of discipline you have to achieve that. Like,
Yes.
there's an underlying, no one really talks about it, but there's an underlying pressure of, they've brought me to school, I need to read my books.
Yes.
They've taken me to this sports day, I need to be the
be
fastest
the
runner.
first.
You get, and then it comes with, what does that mean? That means I have to like practice all the time. That
Yes,
means I have
yes.
to put my best foot forward at all times.
Yes.
And then you partition your time and see how to do that. But I'm also someone who you will see that I am passionate about something based off of like the energy I'm giving it. So for example, I could do sports back in that day. I had the height. I used to play basketball once in a while. I used to play badminton.
Yes.
I've had people, I did an interview where they asked me, what sports do you play? And I said, as of now, I can only say badminton. And I got a lot of backlash because they were like, what game is that? Guys, it's a real game with professional people.
Yes,
we even have
badminton is
representatives of the country.
At the Olympics, huh?
Not at the Olympics, but at a national stage because it's a serious game.
Yes,
anyway.
Yes.
So I had my sports which I used to like and which I used to play, but I was not.
Rosé, you don't drink, but I'll drink for both of us. I'll drink for both of us.
Valentine's is coming.
Valentine's is coming.
Yeah, actually.
Where's your boyfriend?
Woohoo!
Hey, do not waste a drop.
For the ancestors.
For the ancestors. Yes, please.
But yeah, so I had my sports which I used to play, but compared to like sports and let's say the MDT that I described, you could tell very clearly that I was passionate about the MDD.
Yes.
Even with people, I like people overall. I'm a person who loves meeting new people. I like talking to people. I like picking their brains. I like understanding the psychology of how their lives go.
Yes.
But out of those people, there are people who I'll specifically be drawn to.
Yes.
You know?
True.
And if I like you,
you
you will know. You will know. And other people around will be able to be like,
yes,
there is something this person
yes
has over this girl than this other person.
Exactly.
I'm in between in terms of like
you,
I can
you
work
wear,
with
you
structure.
wear your heart on your sleeve, basically.
Yes, but in terms of structure and like compartmentalizing and stuff like that, put me in that environment and I can also thrive.
You know, one image I can't shake from my mind. There was a time you reminded me of the very, very first time we met.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that was you. But then there is this image I have of you. It was in the Airtel building, but it was the MTN building. I don't remember what it was. What's the difference anyway? They're both good telecommunications.
Yeah.
But we were in that building and there was like a competition. I don't know what they were launching. And then they were like, hey, do we have anybody who can come do like a song or some karaoke or rap or whatever? And then you just stood up. By then you had very short hair.
Yeah.
And then they put on the beat. I'm like, now what's about to happen here? But then you are flowing to Eve, Satisfaction, right? And you killed it to an extent where I was like, I didn't expect that. Like you go for these things and then the first person who picks up a thing is like, not that talented, not that professional, not that. But you were up there like showing them like this is like a walk in a park for me. Actually, you could have given me something more challenging. So I always remember that when I remember the ninja.
That was a memorable day because I won 1 million.
You won 1 million,
I did.
Yes.
I did.
Yes.
And at the time,
what did you do with that 1 million?
It's so funny that like I guess God just puts you in situations that you need to be in, because at the time when I won that money, I was putting all my savings together to buy a car. My first car.
Yes.
Because I had just started working on radio, and I think I was in my second year.
Yes.
And then I had saved a certain amount of money, and then I think I asked my mom for a loan, and then I talked to my dad, and they were all like, okay, great. If you can come up with 50%,
with this much,
we'll be able to top up.
Your parents know they don't want to spoil you, by the way.
Let me tell
you have to work for your stuff.
Let me tell you, if there's one thing my parents did, they taught us how to be independent, and like our things are our things and your things will be your things.
Yes.
They never, I mean, of course, by like general standards, I guess we never lacked, which some people can look at as being spoiled in the sense that there are certain things you end up having that you don't need, right?
Yes.
But in terms of like practicality, they never spoon-fed us. They would always try to show you that in this life, you have to bring value to that table for people to want to add value to you.
Yes.
So they were like, you get to this point and we'll
first
meet you.
Bring 50. I want a car. First bring your 50%.
And that 1 million was the final 50%. Like, I told you I had been saving my money for 2 years.
Yes.
And then I had, now that was like a final.
Okay, full disclosure. Was it a RAV4?
It was a silver Vitz. Neda, if anyone was working, if anyone from Vision Group will tell you that day.
Did you ever give Big Trill a lift?
Yes, all that time. That day I got my car.
Yes.
I pulled up to work.
Yes.
And everyone, there was like an initiation ceremony. Everyone came out the building and clapped for me.
Mr. Bean, could you vision?
No, but as in, I mean, for someone...
I'm roasting your car, but if it's is like,
No, but at that time, it was like just the idea of having a car.
Yes.
The idea of having a
car at that age.
I was, and for the time that I had worked, nobody saw it coming.
Yes.
And also because I think people realized that if I had wanted a car, I would have, in the way that people thought I would have gotten it, I would have had it already.
Yes.
So now it was like full disclosure. This chick has bought this car for herself because there is no way if her parents gave her money, she would be driving a Vitz. You know what I mean?
Oh, most definitely.
And I still have that car to this day. I keep telling people, I'm keeping it as an heirloom for my child. You know, because your first car.
You want her to drive it.
Yeah, because your first car.
She's going to laugh so hard at you.
You dent it, you what? Yeah. I'm like, I'm okay for that one to endure all the hardships of the Kampala roads because I know how far
you know, by the time your daughter gets to be of driving age, we're going to be having flying cars all over Kampala.
That's true. But with the roads that we have, we need to make sure that those flying cars can actually move on them.
No, and flying cars, no roads. Which basically is the best. We don't need to fix these roads when our cars are going to be flying.
We need to just make sure that global warming can still protect us, guys. Yes. That's the thing. That's what I'm telling you. You get like, if we don't take accountability for the actions that we are doing now, even the sky won't be a safe zone.
Sky won't be a safe zone.
Yeah.
We'll be good. We'll be good. Like,
so this is a message to you out there.
Yes.
Today alone is an indicator of what global warming is doing.
Wait, the sun is angry.
Yeah, protect your environment.
The sun
protect
is
your
so
environment.
Angry. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, nature will come back to bite us.
So we've been telling you guys to start donating to Baboon Forest because we're going to be planting a forest.
Hey.
Twagala your donation.
Of plants, of soil, of money. What are we?
We want seedlings. We want manure. We want your time. We want your time. I'll be calling you guys, by the way. I want to begin this initiative, right? As Baboon Forest. I was challenged here by one of the guests who was here. It's like, gee, we're not going to have you saying Baboon Forest. When you're in town, right? We should really have, taking a picture just urban footprint. It should really be a forest for real. So I was like, okay, as a rapper and as an environmentalist, why don't I actually take this on? Since I love forests, I love ecosystems, why can't we plant at least 100,000 trees?
I think we can.
I think we can.
I think it's a very doable thing.
What was it last Friday, but one? We ran into you.
Yes.
You had come to do your thing underground. So we discovered one of the places where the ninja hides.
Yes.
You know the ninja, eh? She has like a hovering thingy car. You know, we took an under Mumazinge Batman in every day. So you don't know where she goes. It was one of those days.
Until I surface.
When she surfaced. And we are like, you had gone to register. We are like, isn't that Ninja C? Everybody was like, that's Ninja C, that's Ninja C, that's Ninja C, that's Ninja C. Then you first went and passed over, then you came back. But we're like, that's Ninja. I was just waiting for you to get on the microphone. Now, when we were speaking on that time, you gave me so much parental advice.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to be the other way around. I'm older than you. I should be giving you the advice, but you're giving me so much parental advice.
Yeah.
Because you've been through this.
Yes.
How has this journey been for you as the ninja and as Cynthia, as a mother? How is this journey been for you? Yes.
It has been so interesting because I think, and I don't know, for any mothers out there or potential mothers, one of the first things that happen when you, or at least for me, when you discover you're pregnant, is that immediately you start to think and prioritize your child. Immediately.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's consciously and sometimes subconsciously. You're now like, you used to like eating a meal once a day. Now you know you're eating for two. You make sure
Yes,
you
yes. And you better make sure it has balanced diet.
Exactly. You're now making sure it's healthy. Someone who liked a burger, you're like, Manage, today let me eat fruits.
Yes. That's Cynthia.
It's for the baby.
Cynthia used to love eating pork.
I don't eat pork.
I
don't eat pork.
I was setting
You were setting
up
out that trap. No, I don't drink
Yeah.
alcohol. I think in my past life, I was like Sharifa or something.
You might have been a Sharifa.
Sharifa,
yes,
for
yes.
real.
Because your ways are so obulakogundi okay, covering.
Halal.
Halal, yeah.
But yeah, so you can't help it. You're constantly thinking and prioritizing your child. And as the journey continued, I realized that it's so easy to lose yourself in that.
Yes.
Where the priority now becomes this person who
Yes.
depends on you.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't think that this is something that I want for myself. I want to be able to be a mother and still remain Cynthia and still maintain the other facets of me that I appreciate about myself. Because, for example, when you're a mom, there's this connotation of, why does she rap? Why is she doing that kind of music?
Yes.
Why is she saying those kinds of things?
Yes.
Why is she behaving that kind of way, like gangster way?
Yes.
And I'm like, but at the end of the day,
why are you gangster?
it's my persona. Listen, first of all, my family background alone is gangster. Like, I couldn't avoid that. Mafioso in the building, you know? And then I guess also having brothers, cousins, and being around that masculine energy.
Yes.
And then also looking at females who lead that lifestyle and are very inspirational.
Yes.
Remember those days? You watch a music video and you're looking at someone like Missy Elliott. She's wearing baggy pants, whatever, but she's so dope.
And she's basically living in her own world, dictating and making her own rules.
She looks like she is being authentically her.
Yes.
And for me, that is what stood out. And up to now, when I'm Ninja C, I feel like that is the authentic me to the core.
Yes.
On the top, due to nurture and nature and, just being able to thrive in society, you have to kind of package yourself in a certain way.
I've kind of seen you do it 2
times.
Because I've seen you in the corporate world and I'm like, And then I've also seen you like in entertainment world and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So, to be able to, so to speak, undress and be your real naked self is a privilege, which some people, for me, how I look at it, are not brave enough to. I look at it as bravery.
Most people in our society are not brave enough.
Exactly. I look at it as bravery.
Yes.
This is me saying, guys, I have several versions of me.
Yeah.
I feel very strongly about all of them. Take what you want and leave what you don't like. Or, best case scenario, take everything.
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
you'll be in for a ride. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes, yes.
So even with the mothering, I was like, I'm now a mom. And it's great. It's the best feeling in the world, and it gives me the most purpose.
Yes, but it doesn't mean that I'm
But
going
I
to
should
change
n-
and be...
and shut down all these other
Yes,
sides
yes,
to
yes,
me.
yes.
And now, like, of course, now the child grows, which is the other thing. Like, if you focus so much on that person and you don't maintain your individuality, what happens when they grow up and they go away? Then now you have to rediscover yourself
Yes,
again from
yes,
scratch.
yes.
No, it has been a journey of just realizing that, like, my child is actually happier seeing me in my
In your element,
Element.
basically, yeah.
'Cause
And
she's just like,
but listen,
whoa.
I'm even just seeing you here, the dynamic you're having, when you're speaking in the car, like you have your own, language, girl moment going on.
Yeah. And she and surprising to me, she also somehow loves hip hop music.
Yes.
I haven't influenced her in any way
Because you've only played for hip hop music.
No. When I'm around her, you should know we're listening. Of course, now Baby Shark.
Yes,
There's like a whole.
I can't stand that
playlist.
song. I'm going to find that song somewhere and delete it.
There's like a playlist.
YouTube and delete
I
it.
know there's like a playlist that kids have of these days.
Yes.
They actually, what amuses me is they have their own, just like how we had our own pop stars and our own, artists and our songs which we like. They now also have their own pop stars they look up to.
Mm-hmm.
They have their own artists that they kid artists, because now
Yes.
you can be 12 and you're a star on YouTube
Yes,
or whatever.
Yes.
Jojo Siwa, Simanyi who, they're there. So to be able to also now realize that genes are so strong to the point that I'm not influencing her in any way musically. I don't play for her hip hop music. I don't. But when she hears that music, there's a spark in her eye.
Yes.
She you see her getting
create,
vibrant.
yes.
She wants to create her own music.
Yes.
I'm like, I'm glad that I'm in a position where I'm still embracing that side of me, so that if at any point she wanted to delve into that world, or just even appreciate the art of it,
Yes.
I will be her teacher.
You'll be her
I'm
teacher.
glad to
and
be
I
her
think that inadvertently also you're showing her that this modern African woman can be so many things. You're every woman.
Yeah.
To quote what's Aretha Franklin or is it Chaka Khan? You're basically every woman that you can be a mother, be a CEO, you can be a radio presenter, an event host. Kumanga right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you can also be this friend that she can always confide in. You're also like a family woman.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. So I think she's getting like a very, very good example. Very good example for
Mashallah. The Sharifa in me is loud. No, we thank God. We thank God. But for any mom out there or mom to be, it's just really important to remind yourself who you are outside of your parental responsibilities, and be true to that.
Yes.
You don't have to change because you're now going on a new journey of being a mother, unless it is something that is harmful to you and will not be a good influence to the child.
Yes.
Then you can be like, oh, why? I need to get rid of my old ways.
Yes.
And be a new
and be serious
person.
But I think also what helps, like you said, you have the discipline and the balance.
Yeah, now
there's some women who you're like, how are you going to be a mother like you?
Yeah.
But you know what? Like nature somehow finds and molds. Yeah.
And that's the other thing. There are certain things you can never be too prepared for.
Yeah.
No matter how many stories they tell you, no matter how many lectures, no matter how many videos, until you're there when you see that it's something that you just kind of have to rely on, like you said, nature for.
You have to discover for yourself.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, nobody can be told what the matrix is.
Nobody. But
you have to discover it.
Do you know what else is the same as that?
What's that?
Passion.
Passion. Nobody knows what passion is. You have to discover it yourself.
You can't. When you're born, your parents can't decide for you what your passion is going to be.
Very true.
You yourself, it takes a journey and a path to get to that realization of, this particular thing ignites me in a special kind of way.
Yes.
And then nature will play its part to constantly, direct you into that path.
When I go to me Alchemist, you read The Alchemist, now you're here confusing my brain, taking me
I see it all the time. And even for myself, sometimes I sit back and I'm like, surely. I had an idea, a rough idea, but I didn't imagine that it would take me as far as it has. I had Nava Gray doing an interview recently, and she said, Nani sagala kuimba. You know? There are those people where, like, even from young age, you're like, there's something about this thing that keeps pulling me.
Yeah.
But you're like, no, I'm not going to do that. And somehow it will still catch up with you.
I need to ask MCs because now that you mentioned that, I need to ask MCs, right?
Yeah.
Talking about things that pull you or always pulling you. There was a time when I decided to switch my brain off from being creative. I was like, you know what? I just want to be this guy who lives somewhere near water, wakes up, takes his coffee, reads newspapers, and bees regular. There's nothing creative, you get me? Like, and for some reason, I realized after like a month that I couldn't switch my brain off.
Right.
Because every time I closed my eyes, my mind would just start writing lyrics. It would start writing poems. Like someone would say something, or I would be in bed with someone and she's playing something on her phone, then I hear something and I'm like, that's such a cool concept. Before I know it, I'm up at 4 a.m. and I'm like, I'm not going to touch a pen. I'm not going to touch a phone. But the whole morning gets up, you're up. As a creative, you can't shut it off. Is that the same thing for you?
Let me tell you. And for me, it's such a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Because the day when you're searching for it, like really trying to hone in and focus, is the day when it's elusive.
Yes.
And then the day when you're like, you know what, I need to first take a break.
I need to be present in the moment.
I need to take a back seat and give this, some time off.
Yes.
That is the time when it really wants to now keep popping up and showing up. And until you give in to it, it doesn't let you go. Like, it's like, you will not ignore me. You will not ignore me.
Yes.
A good example is, for example, now like this year, creatively, I wanted to do more behind the scenes work, help more of the younger artists or upcoming artists or just people in the creative scene that are trying to do stuff in terms of like helping them navigate the industry.
Yes.
And then also do a bit more of like personal work, which has nothing to do with entertainment. Yeah. And build those structures.
Because I hear you're bossing up. The word on the street is that you're bossing up.
Yeah.
Like you're building a lot of financial muscle.
I mean, when you have a family and also when you've kind of understood how the world works, I guess it's something that you have to, that financial independence is great.
Yes.
So I told myself, 2025, me as Cynthia, or rather Ninja C, there are certain things I need to first, put on the back burner. The very same day I made that decision. Yeah. Trill, I'm on my Snapchat stories. Yes. And then Trill posts a beat. Hey. And I'm like, sir, what is going on here?
Exactly. I want this.
What is happening with this beat?
Yeah.
He's like, I was just messing around, I think I'm going to put it on my upcoming project, whatever. I'm like, can you send it to me expeditiously?
Like, you use 3-syllable words even, like now.
Expeditiously.
Yes.
And when I tell you, G, I have never, in my entire 10 years in rap, that is the fastest verse I've ever written. Wow. Because I wrote it. Yes. I did a voice note. Yes. I sent it to him, and he was like, when can you go to studio? Because even him, he was just like, have you been sitting on that? I'm like, do you hear? These are lyrics of the other day. Because some of the lines were like from, those trending things that happened. Yes. Like, then he was like, I was a bit confused because I'm like, I'm hearing things of like, things in the, know. But then the quickness with which you did that. Then I said, I don't know. The beat just really was calling my name. Yes. And yet I had told myself what?
That you cut were done, eh?
This year, 2025. There's even times.
First relax a little bit.
We'll have deep conversations with like my mom, for example. Yeah. And she'll be like, Banange, you're breaking yourself. Maybe like some of these events and nights out and things like that, maybe you first get off the scene and, give yourself some time to rest and stuff like that. Yes. I'll be like, I think you're right. And she'll get annoyed because in the next week, Tuesday, Thursday, CG, whatever, album launch. Yes. Then, and I'm showing up on all of them and pictures are being posted and she's like, I thought we said...
Like that was yesterday.
Yeah,
Now,
you know, today is a new day. Yeah.
It's a very different thing.
Yeah.
I think this thing that we do that's called creativity, that dances in our spirits and it's in all of us.
Yeah.
We're not the ones who run it.
True.
We're not the ones who gave ourselves the purpose. Actually, it's very arrogant for you to think you can turn it off because you're here to serve, basically. You're basically here to serve. You're just there's this, I was going to say a Sufi poet because that sounds like fancy. But there's this thing I saw where they said we artists are like whistles. Like the universe just like takes it through us, that message through us, and then we just meant to amplify it. That's it. That's who we are. That's who we're supposed to be. So who are you to turn it off, right? So Uganda's Best Kept Secret. How did that project come about? Which is your first album, right?
So it's an EP.
Okay.
It's called Ninja Attitude.
Ninja Attitude. But wasn't your first project
No,
called?
so Best Kept Secret is a song.
It's a song on the
on
project.
the EP Ninja Attitude.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
So yeah, do you know? First of all, it's just interesting to me because there are not that many people who have listened to that EP. I just put it up, I think maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
On DSPs.
Yeah.
So unless you were in the scene at the time,
Yes,
you don't
yes.
really are not really conversant. But that was the whole point.
We are the ones who stole the Yego files.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm starting to catch on to that because I'm like, some
We stole the
investigation
Yego
needs to
files.
be
We
done.
have everybody's files. Yes.
Best Kept Secret.
Yes.
It's exactly that. It was exactly that. You know
Yeah.
how you said when you see me,
Yeah.
like if, for example, let's say if you met me for the first time, being a rapper or an MC is not the first thing your mind would go to.
Yes.
Just because of most times how I have to present myself.
Yes.
And so that was what was happening at that time. I was doing TV, I was doing radio, I was hosting events.
Yes.
I was always showing up as this just eloquent, bubbly person.
Yes.
And then one time, second time, third time,
Yeah.
when opportunities would happen, just like we said, the muse or the creativity takes over you.
Yes.
And there are parts of you that now start coming out.
Yes.
People started noticing.
Yes.
They're like, Patrick, you can rap.
You can rap, by the way.
can
You
sing.
can sing.
I think we need to do something about this.
Yes.
And the voice became so loud, the consensus became so loud
Yes.
that I was like, okay, the least it would be I tried and it was not working out
And you stopped.
and I stopped. So
Yes.
I said, okay, this has been my secret. I do it in my small groups.
Yes.
Or in my shower at home.
Yes.
Or in my mirror.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me go and put this best kept secret on the mic.
Yes.
And then we see
Yes.
how it,
How it
pans
works
out from
Yeah.
there.
Yes.
Next thing I know, guys are like, what? Oh my God.
Yes,
You
yes,
need to
yes.
make more songs. You need to da, da, da. And funny enough, despite that pressure,
Yes.
I didn't feel it at all. I
Yes.
was just like, guys, this is not something I intend to do seriously.
Yes.
But I'm glad. Thank you for that, reassurance that.
And right, he's where you are now, like best
Exactly.
female rapper of the year.
Exactly. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
So that's why sometimes if something is just really like constantly badgering you to do it,
Yes.
you have to allow yourself to give in to that
Yeah.
and then see how it plays out. Because next
Definitely.
thing I know, as much as I was telling people, this is not something I plan to do seriously. They're like, but you're a real fox and a ninja. Because they say this is not something that you plan to do seriously.
But then
we had that 2 weeks ago, you went back to studio.
Yes.
And those days I would record the songs
yeah.
and I would not release them.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
keep them, hold on to them.
Yes.
Then slowly, those days of SoundCloud,
Yeah. You
I
begin
started
posting
putting them on my SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Guys are like, what? You
Yes.
have 5 songs? I'm like, yeah. And then someone...
That's an EP, basically.
Yeah, someone eventually gives me an idea. And they're
Yeah.
like, okay, if you're going to keep recording these songs and dropping them on SoundCloud,
Yes.
put them in a body of work.
Yeah.
So that at time T, let's say now 2025.
Now it's our reference point actually
exactly.
to where you began, but you might have before that. Had you recorded before? Had you tried out something? Because I remember one thing, because your dad is a musical person. Most people know him as a musical person, creative person. Also, by the way, you might not know this, but when we were shooting Mr. Right,
Right.
We were
Right?
we were on the right.
Right?
Yeah. We were there parking our cars, mob noise, what. But he came out of his office because his office was like around here, but the gallery was there. First came out, looked left, looked right, invited us in. We were like, we are in trouble. We were like, we're in trouble. But he's like, he showed us all the art he had been working on and whatever, like gave us tea.
Oh.
Yeah. Gave us tea, told us, you go on and do your thing. So that street when we were shooting, it's also another memory that I have of him. Yeah. So, besides another memory, I remember when he launched the I Know album.
Yeah.
Weren't you singing on TV, or am I just making it up?
We may or may not have performed.
You're trying to deny.
We were.
You can neither confirm or deny.
Let me just put it this way: we were the curtain raisers for
Yes.
the event. One thing about my family that's really interesting is that they like to harness and promote people's skills. So if they knew that you were good in a particular area, they always try to push you at the forefront of that.
Yes.
So my dad knew that I liked to perform. He knew that I could sing. He knew.
Yes.
So any chance he got, Cynthia, I'm doing this and this, I need you to do this.
Yes.
When I now went into TV and radio and started hosting gigs,
Yes.
there is not a single function my dad didn't make me host.
Wow.
There's even a time I had another event that I was supposed to be doing on the same day. He said, please come to mine first and then go to that one after.
Which shows you actually how progressive he was as a
My
parent.
dad
Now
is
that I think
very
about it,
progressive.
now that I think about it, that's being very progressive as a
If
parent.
it wasn't for my dad, actually, I would not have joined TV. Because I joined TV at 13.
Yes.
And my mom was like, I know this is what you want to do. This is very much in line with who you are as a person.
Yes.
But books, you need to read. We don't need distraction. Moms. There's always good cop, bad cop. Mom was like, you're going to get distracted, And then this entertainment world, we hear so many stories. Drinking, drugs, alcohol. She was so worried for me.
Yes.
And then she's like, ask your dad. In her mind, I think she thought my dad is going to be like, absolutely not. He was like, oh, that sounds like an interesting opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah. So when are you on? My mom could not believe.
Yes.
She was in utter shock. She was like, oh, no, this is not. I think in her mind, I think she was.
I think they had a talk later in the bedroom, like, you're supposed to support me.
No, I think in her mind, she was like, I should have run this by him and told him the standpoint we're going with before he blindsides me.
Yes.
So, he was always very supportive of anything any of us was doing. So when he had an event and he launched his album, he was like, you guys come and curtain raise for me.
Yes.
And then there's the mainstream album that people know, but then there's also how you have the deluxe version of an album.
Yes.
Where
you're on the deluxe version.
Yes. Me and all my sisters
Are
who
you
could
dropping
sing.
bars or this time is vocals?
It was just vocals.
Vocals, yeah.
But my very first song was when I now was 13.
What does I Know mean, by the way? Because the branding went out. I remember that it was a music album.
Yeah.
And I remember that you guys performed, but I don't remember exactly what it meant.
It's it's supposed to be sweet.
Sweet.
Something
sweet.
Yeah, or I don't know how, it's it can mean so many things.
Yes.
It's how you can say Bambi or
it can
Bambi, or the different connotations of what Bambi can be. But in that sense, I think he was more of saying sweet, because the lead singer on that track, which is I Know, he was talking about his journey and how there were things he envisioned, and he couldn't believe that fast forward years later, he was living the life where he could see them.
Yes.
And it was a sweet feeling. It was a happy feeling for him to be able to picture a family.
Oh, it's sweet.
Picture a future where we have peace.
Yes.
Picture a Uganda where everyone is just pursuing the endeavors that they want to pursue.
Yes.
Picturing a Uganda where they've now come out of the bush and, it's life is going on as normal. They're not hiding under trenches and whatever.
Yes.
So it's how sweet or how nice or, wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just a positive affirmation. There's no way I can directly translate it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you can answer this, or you might not want to answer this. But are there stories that you've been told from him? Because I know father-daughter, and I know how daughters are close to their fathers.
Yep.
Are there stories you have that maybe people might not know about him, like your most fond memories of him? Or a story that he told you that stays with you, like until now? Like, when we were like 1984, around there, eh?
I think one which I can pick, which is just like relevant to the conversation we're having today, is when my dad got his letter to go to university. So my dad had gone through school and then was a teaching assistant for art. He started out as a what do they call them? Industrial artist, like drawings and paintings. Yes. And when he was done with school, he went back to some of his schools and he was like a teaching assistant for that. Yes. And then now when his letter for...
so he went back to where he studied and
he was a teaching assistant.
That's nice. Yeah.
And then now when he was going to university, the day he got his letter for admission was around the same time he then found out news about his mother's passing. And then,
so bittersweet.
Yeah, it was bittersweet. He didn't really know how to be excited about the opportunity of going to university because it's like, now the most important person in my life is not going to be there to witness. But also the reality that comes with his dad had died years prior.
Yes.
That I'm all alone in the world.
Yes.
So I kind of have to make things work.
Yes.
So his approach was, okay, me as Elitumine right now, what do I have? What can I use to help me survive through university? Now, university then was not like university now. They had their benefits. They would give you boom.
What's boom now?
Boom is like an allowance they would give students who would join university.
Tick, tick, boom, tick, tick, boom. Yeah. And then have a song with Fresh Kid called Boom. Eh?
Yes.
It's a good plug. Tick, tick, boom, tick, tick, boom.
That's why I said in relation to the conversation we're having. Oh my God, what's fees didn't go to waste.
Yes.
So they would give them boom, give them like a small allowance for being at university to help them. Yes. But then obviously there's not enough money that's going to help you. There are other things you need. And now he was like the head of the home, so he had to like send welfare back home.
He was the eldest?
Not necessarily, but now he's the one who had made it to uni.
Okay.
You know that thing of
you're the one who has to pay black tax now. Yes.
So he was like, what can I do? He was like, okay, what are my skills? I'm artistic.
Yes. I
have a creative side to me. I also have one natural resource, which is cattle. So what is in the market that is a gap for that type of farming life? Medicine. So somehow he got into selling like medication for animals, like veterinary products and stuff like that. Yes. And then supplementing that with taking pictures
as a
at
photographer.
University.
Yes.
You know those things of straight talk where like you're in the bush with one flower and then like you're in a certain pose.
Don't tell me your dad invented those poses.
No. I don't know, but he was that guy. There's like a period of people who went to uni at that time.
Yes.
Even now, like we've been sorting out like some of his gallery.
Yes.
You see negatives of random people.
Yes.
Because my dad used to he was a hoarder, he used to keep everything.
Yes.
And you're seeing, you're like, what are these straight poses?
You should develop this picture.
We will, and I think one day when we do an exhibition, the number of people that are going to pop out are going to be shocked. Like, you'll just come to that.
Please hide that picture. Hide that picture.
Exactly. I'm telling you, blackmail-worthy material.
Yes.
But anyway, and funny enough, he made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because remember, he's literally like the one guy on uni who has a camera.
Yeah.
Every weekend, he was in Lumumba. So you go to Mary Stewart, you go to take pictures of the girls. They doll themselves up.
Yes.
And he was charming. My dad was really charming. So he would convince people to pose and take the pictures and he would sell them.
I was going to say something disrespectful because my mind is going somewhere. But go to CCE, cameraman.
Yeah. I remember we had one in Macquarie College. Yeah, and if anyone who is from Macquarie College, and even a few other schools I found out later, called Paul.
Paul.
You know, he would bring the pictures and he displays them like this. Yes. And then there was that thing where you're like, I cannot leave my face there. Especially as a chick. You're like, I
Yes.
don't know where this picture is going.
Yes.
You find yourself spending 15K on all the pictures Paul took. So it reached a point when we would see Paul with this camera, we're like, it's Kawa, we don't want. Because all the
Paul was
pocket money
was
is
milking
going to
everybody's-
buying pictures.
Yes, yes.
So anyway, yeah, that's the one interesting story I could probably give you. But
That's
yeah.
very interesting. Like, he used his art to sustain himself at uni.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really dope. That's really, really dope. So from there, I know, then we see you on this other project that you did.
Yeah, so I was telling you.
Attitude of a Ninja? Attitude of a Ninja?
No, but before that,
Yeah,
when I joined TV,
yes.
there was the hip hop canvas.
That's where we met.
The first time
Yes,
me and you
yes,
met. And I
yes.
met so many people
Yes.
doing that project
Yes.
who don't remember because I was a teenager.
For context, yes, that's what I was going to put for them. That for context, don't think Ninja C is in menopause. Ninja C is like a young girl. Like a
The
very,
people
very
around
young
me are the ones who
girl.
are old.
We're
No.
starting to get old, by the way. We're starting to really get old.
I mean, if you look closely, you may see one or two gray
Yeah.
hairs. But
Yes.
yeah, that hip hop canvas is where I met many of the hip hop artists.
Yes.
And seeing them doing their thing then, I think,
Yes.
and then also like, they would come to Teens Club when they would have new songs,
Yes.
interview them. If they
Yes.
were not on Teens Club, they were coming for Jam Agenda, which
You
was...
were on Teens Club also?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
So you were with that other tall guy. What was his name?
No, now I was, because there was the era of Bobby,
Yes.
Yvonne,
Yes.
Viola, and
Yes.
a few others. Kalule, Moses.
Kalule, yes.
Kasule,
Oh,
Kalule.
but he was too tall to be a teenager. But
And
he
then
was a
now
teenager,
that was phase one.
Yes.
Then phase two, we had Flavia,
Yeah.
Katz,
Yes.
me.
That's the era now.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
I see it. Yes.
So now we do hip hop canvas.
Yeah.
Some of the artists we already knew because, like I said, they would come on the show to promote their songs, or they would come on Jam Agenda that came on immediately after Teens Club.
Yes. Yes.
And we would meet them in the corridors.
Yes.
You're like, oh.
You're like,
GNL.
what's going on? Yes.
And then this is something that I also have talked about so many times. At that time, there were those school tours.
Yes.
So if me personally, I didn't meet them in studio at WBS,
Yes.
I would see them on the stages at school.
WB, complete the sentence.
WBS
yange,
TV station and singer, family watano ku TV yo. WBS to say to do.
Yeah. But to do.
There are people, they're like, when you're really showing your age, there are
Yes.
people who are like, what is
Right now we're
happening?
showing our age, like-
What is happening right now? No, but we gotta do it for the
But
kids.
the real age would be the one for. The
fact that you now know that
song. You're like, we are
TV
old.
has started.
My
TV has
God.
started.
Remember when TV used to begin and they play the national anthem? That was crazy.
And then
That
you
was
would
crazy.
wait your whole entire day. You're counting down to when TV starts.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the time it'd be off.
Yeah.
Then you see the colored lines.
No, first they would be like the gray lines.
Yeah.
Then the colored lines come on. You're like, yes.
We're about to get in.
And then they switch the Pingu thing on, you guy.
Yeah.
Man.
Good times. Good times.
What's your favorite cartoon?
I think it was Pingu. In fact, on that album art
Yes.
for Ninja Attitude,
You're
it was
Pingu.
It was done by my friend. You remember Nyonyozi? She was
Yes,
like
yes, Nyonyozi, yeah.
Christian
Nyonyozi
rapper.
is in LA, right?
Yeah, she's now in LA.
Yeah, she's in LA.
So she did that for me because I used to go by the name Pingu Ninja
Mm-hmm.
at that time on Twitter.
yes.
So Pingu, that's my, and
That's
I
your
still rewatch it. I started
Where do
with-
I find episodes of Pingu now?
Now they're online. Like if you, I think there are some on YouTube. But
Yes.
those days I would go to fans
Yes.
and download. Like I didn't realize you would watch episode on like a daily basis.
Yes.
But when you get all of them at once, you cannot imagine how many seasons Pingu has. It's actually crazy.
No way.
It's actually crazy.
I thought Pingu had like one season and they kept on
Ma'am,
repeating.
there are so many. Of course, for us, they would repeat because to legally air stuff on TV those days, you had
Yes.
to buy,
The
you
license.
had to purchase
Yes,
the
yes,
license.
yes.
So they would repeat for us because they can't buy the whole season. That was the whole point.
Yes.
You know,
yes,
they
yes.
would buy like just maybe 10 episodes, then repeat them. When they're like, okay, they're sure they're sick of this, then they buy another 10. But when you buy the whole collection, oh my God, wow. And then remember, they had to space it out over years.
Oh, yeah, they had to.
Yeah.
They had to.
So yeah, Pingu, Powerpuff Girls, now when Cartoon Network came in.
Yes, yes. So you never watched Punky Brewster? Oh.
I hear about it, and I think I may have a vague
What?
memory.
Punky Brewster was it was the same time of Kisifa and Punky Brewster and Pingo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think.
I'm a little bit older than you, though.
Yeah. So I think by the time I checked in,
Did you watch Johnny Bravo, though?
Yeah, Johnny Bravo.
Okay,
Now
okay.
with Cartoon Network era,
Yes,
that
yes.
whole era was me. Powerpuff Girls, Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Lab.
Dexter's Lab was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Omelette du fromage.
Cow and Chicken.
Yes.
Um,
Your daughter is like... Your daughter is like...
her face is lighting up. She's like, mommy.
Now she's like... Now we're talking about her stuff.
Yeah, we're
Yes,
talking about
yes,
that
yes.
stuff. No, but I enjoyed cartoons.
Yes.
And then, of course, now the old school Looney Tunes.
Yes. Did you ever watch
Tom and Jerry.
DuckTales?
DuckTales was
yes.
also part of like the overall Looney Tunes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you never watched Inspector Gadget?
Is it a cartoon or?
It's a cartoon. It was a cartoon. Victor and Hugo, Inspector Gadget.
Victor and Hugo, Mysteries.
Yeah.
Was that?
No, Victor and Hugo, partners in crime.
Mm.
Hey.
Yeah.
So right now, do you watch anime? Because I'm taking you somewhere. Do you watch anime?
So I tried. I have several friends who have tried to put me onto anime. And just because of my ninja persona,
Yes.
the assumption would be that like I would be into it. And for a period of time, I really got addicted. But what
Yes.
I realized is I'm not,
So,
it has to be a very compelling.
you are addicted.
For a certain period of time.
Yes.
Yeah. But it has not stayed with me.
Yes.
It has not, has
Yes.
not stayed with me. It's not something that I can claim and say, oh, I'm a anime diehard and I know the characters.
Yes.
I mean,
you're not like Sam Lamara.
he is a person who tried to put me on because he was like,
He tried to give you the first
I
hit
see your vibe.
like ninja.
He's like, exactly. He's like, I see your vibe.
The samurai
because
tried.
he was like,
the samurai tried to
as a
indoctrinate
samurai
you. Yes.
and as a ninja,
Yes.
I feel like I catch your vibe.
Yes.
This is something that I think you would be into.
Yes.
Give it a try.
Yeah.
So I watched Naruto. I think that's the first thing he introduced me to. And then a few others, and I really got into it. But then I think I was so busy in that period with work that it became difficult to like keep up because some of those shows have a lot of episodes.
They do.
They have a lot of
They do.
Bleach.
Yes.
I'm like, no. But as a kid, what people don't realize, Samurai X was an anime.
Samurai X, I think, I think Samurai also might have got his name from like Samurai
have
X.
to ask
I'll
him.
ask him, eh?
I'm going to
I'll
ask
have
him
to
also.
ask him,
I don't know
yeah.
how
Yeah.
but Samurai X was an anime, and it was from
I
those
love
days,
Samurai X.
You wait for Samurai X, you wait for Godzilla.
Yes.
There were those cartoons that came on at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no.
So
now, no.
So as a ninja, what's in your weapon? What are your weapons of choice? Is it a katana?
Yes.
Do you have a star in there and a smoke bomb?
Nunchucks, and I was going to call them something.
Yes,
nunchucks.
Yes.
A katana, definitely.
Yes.
Mind reading.
When did ninjas start mind reading? Because that's another special power now. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think one of the side businesses you and I have to develop, we need to start developing comic books for like artists and hip hop artists basically.
I think that would be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And with their superpowers, because all of us have alter egos, right?
Yeah.
And your alter ego has to have all these amazing things, So you can design your ninja to have all these weapons, and then her special power is like mind reading.
Yeah,
right? So,
I've seen that with a couple of artists.
Yes.
Who are not based here. Some of them Ugandan.
Yeah.
Where as part of their merchandise, you know how we have caps, T-shirts, and stuff like that. They have what are they called? I'm forgetting the name.
Yeah.
They have.
My special power is making people forget things.
Clearly. They have. I'll remember, but it's like a collection in animated collection in a.
I've freed you from the spell.
They have a collection of comics.
Yes.
Based on their alter ego, so like how you said, like I'm Ninja.
Oh, that's amazing. What artists are those? Do you know the names?
One of them is Mwami. He has I can't believe I'm forgetting. As part of his merchandise, he has like a collection of It Will Come to Me. Let's
Yes.
just keep talking.
Yes, I like the name Mwami.
Yeah.
I like the name Mwami.
Let's just move on. The word has gone.
Yes,
It has gone.
yes.
Yeah.
So, I know you've been doing so many amazing things in music. You've been doing amazing things in entrepreneurship, which is what I want to zero in right now, right? How do you find this entrepreneurial journey and balancing your music? I know hip hop and entrepreneurship are big. Like some of the stars that I know, like have side empires that they
Right.
have used the music to market, right? Some of us have gold bottles in front of us here.
Hey, I'm telling you. Woo.
Because you can point and say, hey, about Jay-Z on this one. I tell you about Diddy on this one.
Yeah.
I tell about now this big belly man, Rose, on a Bel Air, right? How are you able to, what's your motivation to starting an empire, basically, the Ninja C empire? And what's in your portfolio as a, if you can disclose to the people, what's in your portfolio as an entrepreneur?
If I told you that, like, you know how you were saying sometimes that thing just keeps speaking to you, even when it was not something you envisioned?
Yes.
If you had asked me many years back, this
Yeah.
is not how I envisioned
Mm-hmm.
my later years being. So I can't really say that it's something I've been intentional about. However, what I can say is that after being in entertainment for 20 years, I realized that passion is also fueled by resources. You know?
Yeah, every artist needs a patron. Even Leonardo da Vinci was funded by the Medici.
Exactly. So when you don't have the resources, the drive, the motivation, and the desire to keep going sometimes drops.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And for me, that was enough to say, okay, fine. This is something that I love to do. I love to be in the media. I love to be in entertainment. I want to develop my career as an artist. But how do I bridge the gap between what I want to do and the paycheck that I get at the end of the day?
Yes.
You know, because outside of that, I have other responsibilities. It's not that I'm going to now get that money and just push it all into.
Bella wants to go to Nigeria.
You
and go
know,
back to Nigeria.
like-
She's been telling me I want to go to Dubai. What?
Yeah,
You've spoiled these children by now. What happened to going to the zoo?
they've gone, they're tired. They've seen everything they could possibly see.
Yes.
So, you know, just being in a position and also meeting people who open your mind.
Yes.
When I went into corporate,
Yes.
I learned that, you know, there's structures and systems that are actually in place to help us thrive
Yes.
as long as you put your mind to it and you package it. You
Yes.
know, I said packaging earlier.
Yes.
In a way that there are people who want to buy into that idea.
Yes.
And at that time, I was working in the biggest online retail, which was Jumia.
Yes.
And it was such a high-pressure workspace.
Is it?
Everybody was innovation and solution-oriented. That you start thinking, I'm really dreaming small. It opens your eyes to the multitude of things that you can do and that you can be.
Yes.
And then they would empower you of like, I got in there as a comms manager. By the time I left, I was a PR and marketing manager.
Yes.
And I'm like, guys, it's a kind of, people don't understand, but those are two different things.
Yes.
And I'm like, I feel like that
Okay, enlighten us, Nyabo.
So comms is basically...
Part of you watching this podcast, the benefits are that there's free knowledge and information. Now let's learn the difference between communications department and PR.
Yeah.
Don't confuse the two.
Yeah, so...
We have the ninja here, please.
Comms is, they basically hire you
Yeah.
to be the mouthpiece
Yes.
of a company, organization, or individual. So whatever this person wants to communicate, whether it is through social media, whether it is through official like press releases, or press events, pressers, you are the one responsible for coming up with what that looks like.
What the copy and the
everything,
communication,
the language, the way it's structured.
You're not offending. You're not
exactly.
like you're, yes.
Yeah, and anyone, you're the buffer between anyone who wants to speak to the organization or speak to the individual, they go through you.
Yes, yes.
Because that's it, you're the mouse.
Kyogamba nga Zamba netagayo communications department. Because Nina,
You know it.
yes, yes.
And then now for PR,
Yes.
it's like the entire organization's reputation, brand, outlook.
Yes.
It's up to you to create that.
Yes.
How the public relates to you.
How the public perceives you.
Relates to you, how they connect with you.
How they connect with you.
You get.
Which is basically usually the business itself. Eh?
Yes.
Yes.
But you can also include partnerships, like the people who you work with.
Yes.
It can also involve stakeholders, the
Yes.
people in the business, and how, they are presented out there.
Yes.
If you're representing or working for a big business, you can't just be out there
Yes.
for...
Yes.
And then you're constantly establishing and building relationships that will further this business.
Yes. So that means the higher you go, the higher the brands you represent,
Yeah.
the less you are seen in common circles. Eh?
I mean...
For risk of endangering the image of whatever you're representing.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes.
And before you do anything, you cannot speak as you. It has to be like filtered and, because you're representing the what?
Yes.
The brand.
Yes.
And then now marketing is how you are selling the brand.
Yes. Yes.
There are different tools.
You know, this is a workshop. Eh? We have to design a workshop, which is basically hip hop, baboon, forest, ninja, C.
I'm telling you. So
Yes,
anyway,
yes.
all the three departments are
Yeah.
different. And there's a sort of like silent code of hierarchy, so for me, from comms going into public relations felt like a step up, because you're coming from just being a mouthpiece
Yes.
to being now the whole rep.
So when a person calls like MTN or calls URA or calls any other people, these people who first receive these phone calls for customer service, where do those people lie?
There would be in comms, but now customer service is like also
A thing of its own?
It's a department also of its own.
Yes, yes.
But because it deals with like the consumer experience and the service, it can be under like, let's say, marketing. Because how your brand is selling itself is dependent on how the consumer feels about what you're doing.
Exactly.
If they don't feel respected, if they don't feel heard, if they feel like their problems are not being solved, then it's a bad look for that. And then, of course, you don't sell. So it's a whole other department for itself. But now the comms people are the people. You see those people, like, for example, White House, who come and say, on the 15th of August, or what you even see Trump reading, or what you see Museveni reading.
That's written by somebody.
Slept at 5. Putting the words together. Making sure no toes are stepped on.
Yes.
Because if you just leave someone to just talk, they're like, that person is tribalist. That person is, chauvinist. That person is prejudiced. No. You have to really...
Communication makes sure that the message gets delivered without people being offended or feeling like they have been overlooked.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But also that what you're trying to represent as a brand is being spread out there.
Yes.
In the most eloquent language possible.
So in the future, 5 years from now, where do we see... I hate that question, but I'm going to ask it. 5 years from now, because we never know, actually.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
We don't know. But if you were to project like a career path, like coming from PR now, from comms to PR, do we see you at CEO?
I mean, currently, like for the businesses, that is what I'm doing.
Yes, you're CEO.
No, as in, aside from being the director of the businesses.
Yes.
I am head of marketing. So like I'm using all of these skills which I've acquired to make sure that the businesses thrive out there. How
do we get our music on Jumia?
I guess that is something that they need to look into but then the thing is we already have our own platforms.
Sorry, but we have but Jumia was helping us sell some baboon for a smash actually. Yeah. There was a time.
So now the thing is like how you mentioned that music has never been isolated from business.
Yes.
There is music the art. Then there is the music business and everything that is entailed in that.
Yeah.
Intellectual property of your music and how it's the rights and how it's being sold, the merchandise, like all those other avenues in which artists make money.
Yes.
Here in Uganda, it's something that is now growing and people are talking about it more and more, because I think back in the day, it was, I write my song, it plays on radio, and then they call me for performances, I get paid.
Yeah.
These other concepts are things that are being introduced slowly.
Yes, yes.
So that is why we never used to focus on them.
Yes.
But I think with the world opening up and labels being more open to how they're doing their thing, and social media really like, spreading the word, people even here in Uganda are like, man, I really need to focus on being more than just the performing artist.
Yes.
And tap into the other pots and
all
avenues.
the other, you have to. You have to.
So 5 years from now, funnily enough, once you've now created the businesses and they're running, you've put out all the music that you possibly can, and female rap of the year, the accolade
Female
has already
rap of the
has already touched
Don't
your
tell
desk.
me that that's the ceiling.
No, I'm saying for me.
Yes.
Like, and I think I may have mentioned it earlier.
Did you watch the Super Bowl before you even go in those things? Okay, first finish your thought. Sorry,
I see myself more in skilling, motivating, and just equipping light.
Yes.
And right now, the life's needle seems to be pointing me into a special focus on women.
You women have over-focused on women. That
let me tell you why.
The boy child is feeling so ignored.
No,
Because do you know for the last 15, 20 years, it has been the girl child alone?
Yes.
And you know that a gap of like 20 years is actually like really impactful?
But that was the girl child in education, mostly. The girl child in the workplace.
Yes.
Do you know what's happening with the girl child in entertainment? Do you?
Oh, actually, that needs a lot of advocacy. You're right. You're so right. Because
and not just in entertainment, the girl child in business.
Yes, the girl child in business is still suffering a lot. Yes.
So considering that those are the two avenues that I can confidently say that I have dipped into, it is something that I would want to pass on.
Yes.
Because I find myself doing it effortlessly anyway.
Yes. So it's more like a mentorship, passing on skills, and the Cynthia masterclass.
Yeah, and sometimes all these people need is just encouragement.
Yes.
Yeah. Where is Bella?
Encouragement that they are doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Your maternal instincts. They are,
when you're in a home.
Yeah.
And then the kids go quiet.
Yeah.
You panic. You're like, what are they up to? So I think I'm used to that.
Yeah.
But also just, I don't like to feel like I'm being not negligent, but ignoring her too long.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And it's something which I have to also be really. But for me, when I'm at home, I'm like, I don't even want to miss a thing. It's like Aerosmith, basically.
Oh, you don't want to miss a thing.
I don't want to close my eyes.
Which is interesting, because sometimes dads are like, they have those 30 minutes to give. And then after that, I'm glad you're here. You sit next to me so I can feel your presence, but I'm just going to keep doing it.
If you see me as a parent, forget about me being gangster. I'm like on Google Gaga.
You've just reminded me of the most gangster guy
Yeah.
has a mom. Or at least, and the way they address them is where you really see the true.
Yes.
Walks into the club, da. Hello, mommy.
Big Trill,
without naming names.
Big Trill is like gangster moving in. Let mommy call. Mommy.
That's not my word. I plead the fifth.
But I still want to know, how did Big Tool fit into a Vitz? He's a tall guy.
Hey, my Vitz is cool. You just pull back the chair and the legs.
And the legs.
To be fair, he never came. It was probably like once or twice or three times that he ever jumped
Ever
into
sat
that
in
car.
Of course, it's discomfort. Omusajja muwanvu akomeye.
Yeah.
Omutuzizza mugundi yo. You're making him sit in your toy car.
Well, it served its purpose. Well, it did. But the one thing I definitely endured were the Vitz jokes.
Yes.
I remember people would be like,
I know, the Vitz jokes
"We'll
never
just
stop. That's why
carry
I'm holding on to like 20.
And there are people who still make those jokes to me now,
Yes.
yet I drive a different car. But they're just like, they can't get that image.
I saw the car you're driving. It's not easy.
They can't get that image out of their head.
Cynthia, you're making money.
Guys.
I mean,
guys.
coming from a Vitz to this, high fives.
It's been, you know that, okay, so the Vitz was 2013.
Yes.
We are now in 2025.
Yes.
I want one thing. I want
Progress.
to yes, steady progress. The one thing I want to disqualify in this life is there's nothing like quick returns or quick gains. Everything you see people with, wherever you see someone, if it's going to have longevity, they've worked
Slow money.
it.
Slow money.
It's not even about the money. I'm just saying, like, in general. For example, like, people see GNL.
Yes.
And they're like, yeah, GNL. He has a whole brand around him.
Yes.
He has a whole weight around him and his name. Just say the name GNL and, you know,
Yes.
voices arise from the ether. But how does someone get to that stage? There is seeds that were planted along the way.
Yes.
Even seeds that you probably didn't think value or anything of, that have now led to this point.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And especially in this generation now, I feel like quick satisfaction is something that has become a thing.
Yes.
Does it work or is it sustainable? I'm yet to find out. Because also we have to be cognizant of the fact that we're in a new era.
Very new era.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. We are very
The way
cognizant
with
of that,
us who
but
are-
I've learned that the principles of money don't change.
They don't change, yes.
The principles of money don't change, and the things that govern like modern society, things like integrity and honesty in business. Like if you don't have those, no matter how good you are, like you're never going to keep your money.
That's true.
But if you have the integrity and you have the honesty, you deliver when you say I'm going to deliver. Things like that. They are very simple, but honesty goes a long way. Like you can't say the times have changed, that honesty is, no. People with their money, it's their hard-earned money, and you have to be honest in how you deliver it and how you're keeping their money or making it produce, and how you report, how you hold their investments with integrity. Character, basically.
Yeah.
Character, discipline.
They all come into play.
And you can grow fat and grow thin, but the bones, they are there.
Now the way the world is going and the new tools that are being introduced to soften our lives, so to speak, they kind of cut out certain processes, you know? And for me, it has been a learning curve to sort of understand. For example, like for me, I was among the lucky few people who understood their purpose and passion early.
Yes.
For many, it's like trial and error, or you stick with something until you're like, okay, no, this is not where I'm supposed to be. And then you jump onto something and then you realize, okay, I'm comfortable where I am.
Yeah.
Now the kids are not having it. Immediately, straight off the bat, if they're not feeling it, they're not feeling it and they're not doing it.
I see. Yeah, I see that.
You see, and then for us who are like, Mananga, you have to work your way. You can't just decide, I'm not going to do it. We can't understand. So there's that like communication or relatability gap.
Yeah.
However, what I realized is these guys get to their, may or may not, you know, it's a case-to-case basis. Get to their destination faster.
A friend was telling me that, actually. That's a very good point. I have a friend who's an Israeli. He's in LA. But he was hired by these guys who do games to create... basically, he reads the data for them and tells them, this is working. When you added this feature, it worked. When you added this, it didn't work. When you did this ad, like, it does that data for them. And he told me that his method is always fail fast. These things of taking, like, 5 years to create an album, and then you find out, they didn't like it.
Yeah.
These guys are like single, freestyle. Okay, they like that. Okay, put that there. So that you find out really fast what's working and what's not working. So I don't know about, you're right in
I
That you
feel
get
like
to the
it's
destination faster.
Yeah, it's worth looking into.
Yeah, it's
in
worth
that,
looking
in the
into.
sense that
Yeah.
like, were we taking the time we took because we were not brave enough, or was the societies at the time not accepting of
Yes.
the options that we wanted to lay on the table,
Yes.
or just getting out of the generation after generation
Yes.
cookie cut system.
Yes. Yes.
I must graduate.
Yes.
I must
Yes.
marry.
Yes.
I must buy a house. I
Yes.
must buy land.
Yes.
We're now getting opposing and challenging thoughts of
These kids don't want houses and land.
they're making crypto. They're not even looking at actual cash.
Yeah. I know.
People are selling their paintings using NFTs.
But here's the thing too. Like old money will tell you these things, the NFTs, you saw how they quickly went up and went down.
Yeah.
It's not saying that they are dead, because I believe in them too, right? I believe in these digital spaces and digital assets. But these things are still lying in the air. Let me explain it this way. They're still lying in the air, but there's no reality to like really back them up. It's like when they talk about currency and they say it's not backed by gold or something. But I want to put it in terms of like these indices they use for like trading stock. There is one which is basically on speculation. Pure two, three of them are based on speculation. But then there's one called the Dow, which is basically about omulimi yagenza n'alima, kasooli ne bamuteeka mu trucks, those trucks delivered to the whatever, to the factory, and then they manufactured this. That ababala value your value chain, nebivuddemu byonna, and they say, okay, the economy is growing, right? Those are the people that actually move this shit forward. These are the things develop bubbles and collapse. All of them develop bubbles and collapse. But you can only where like there's a product being sold, exchanging hands and serving people.
Yeah.
That's where the real meat is on the bone. Yeah.
And I agree with that. I'm just saying that like in a world where all these other options are present, people are creating wealth digitally. There's no sense of permanence. Back in the day, you want to build a home because you want to have an address and build. But now we're in a global village. Someone is thinking, why should I build a whole 30 billion house or 1 billion house? Yet tomorrow I'm going to wake up and want to live in New York. Or the next day I'm going to wake up and live in Dar es Salaam.
Yes.
Why
should I have this good thing here which I'm spending a lot of money on?
Exactly. Or now you've heard of the minimalistic style of just decorating and doing things. Someone in the house has basics. Do I have a chair?
I tried to be a minimalist and it's not for me. I tried.
Because the assumption is that everything is fleeting and the level of attachment is decreasing.
Yes.
And attention is so easy and focus is so easy to lose that you don't want to do something permanent.
Yes.
So that's what I was saying, with this now alternative way of thinking and just how the world is evolving, there are principles that we may have, but with time may have to slowly release and say like, okay, this no longer is something that's practical in this day and age. But like you said, the baselines remain.
Yes.
Because they don't just apply to money.
Yes.
If you're honest and if you are responsible with yourself, you will also be honest and responsible with others.
That's true. That's true.
And then in everything you do, it's just that people will give you more to work with because they're like, hey, I can rely on this person. I can.
Which is something which also, what you've just said, you can just relate it, Gamba, environmentally, because we're environmentalists here. That's how the universe basically works. You treat this thing well, it will keep on giving you. But if you take away from it, it will show you that, I can eliminate you from this equation, don't make life like really, really, really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
So, on the point of attention, I can't tell you the last time I actually watched a full ceremony, whether it is awards or...
I understand your thing.
Whether it's awards.
Yes, please.
Because now, For example, let me give the examples of Grammys.
Yes.
Back in the day, you would know the Grammys are happening this weekend.
Yes.
You wait 2 to 3 weeks for them to air on Jam Agenda.
Yes.
That anticipation
Yes.
would make you watch from the moment they say, this is the 59th Grammy Awards, to the moment where they say, have a lovely night, thank you for watching,
Nga, you've been
without
watching
skipping
from,
a beat.
Yes, yes, yes.
But now, I sleep. Before it even reaches break of dawn,
Yes.
I decide to open my phone and maybe go on Twitter. I've seen 5 clips of what has happened
Yes, yes.
at the
The things that
Grammys.
matter, the ones that made news.
Exactly.
Yes.
So am I really going to be inclined to watch the whole thing? I've already seen what I need to
Yes,
see.
yes, yes.
So I don't know if you meant, did I watch the entire Super Bowl or
Did
I
you watch the halftime show?
Thank you.
Did you watch the
I
halftime
watched
show?
the clips that
Let me
were
rephrase.
relevant.
Yes, yes, yes.
I saw Kendrick come out, pop out and show niggas, which was
Yes.
not a surprise. We've been
He
anticipating
had to
this.
pop out and show niggas.
He has been doing a world tour. Like, we know. We
Yes,
knew
yes,
what.
yes.
I personally, I won't lie that I was shocked. I knew what to expect.
you-
But the surprise was Serena, obviously. Doing
Serena.
the creep walk.
Serena Nabatanzi. Nabatanzi was doing, Yeah. She was like really rubbing it in, but she was her moment. She enjoyed it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I feel like aside from what the drama is that they're connecting her being in the set and the controversy behind the
Yes,
songs,
yes.
as the first black female athlete with her sister
Yes.
to ever put tennis on the map,
On the world map. And they come from Compton,
they
where Kendrick is from. Yeah.
deserved. Because for me, it will always be Venus and Serena.
Yes.
I cannot look at Venus and not think of Serena. I cannot
Yes.
look at Serena and
Yes.
not think of... It was their moment.
Yes. Yes.
It was done in a unique way
Yes.
because we were looking for Kendrick and we were, halftime special Super Bowl.
Yes.
But it was a perfect moment for history to recognize that at point T, there was a lady called Serena Williams.
Yeah.
She came, she represented her city,
Yes.
her gender,
Yes.
her sport,
Her culture.
her culture.
Yeah, basically, most people don't know that she first creep walked when she won the championship.
Yes, it's her
And
thing.
everybody was like, this woman bringing gangster dances
Yeah.
to tennis, what?
Yeah.
But they spoke a lot of things.
Even now,
Yeah,
apparently
yeah.
they were like, how can she creep walk when her step-sister, I think her mother's
Which is not even
daughter,
true. They don't know. Someone was, the sister was
that
shot.
they shot
Yes, yes.
due to gang-related
Yes, yes.
activities. And I'm like, okay, personal things aside,
Yes.
it's like if I'm in Uganda and I live in Kampala, no matter what weird perceptions and traditions are associated with Baksimba dance, or we...
Baximba has some weirdness too, eh?
No, I'm just saying, I don't know.
I don't. Yeah,
But
I was like, oh
but
shit.
as a urban girl living in Kampala,
But I know Magunju. Let's say Magunju.
Oh,
Because
Magunju.
Magunju has some stuff there.
I don't even know because this is not my culture.
But
But
Magunju used to be danced naked. Nga things
Now
are
I know.
swinging.
now I know. But like, I'm not going to not dance that dance when like traditional Luganda song, say for example, Njogereza
Yes.
comes on,
Yes.
because of the things that are associated to that.
Yes, yes.
It's going to come naturally to me immediately
Yes.
to get into my
Maganda.
Maganda mode.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the dance has transcended being gangster to
Yeah.
like it's a fun moment. You know, it's like something that represents coming from
That-
a certain place
Yeah.
of the world. And I like the way
if people think, Bachiga are aggressive, they have too much energy. If a hot Ruchiga song comes on, it's not going to stop me from jumping into that
and dancing
Chitaguru.
Machik. Yeah.
Like, it's just, it
There's
happens.
a man who's
automatically.
very happy here because
She gets it to the world.
He's a Muramba drinker. We have a Muramba drinker in the house.
You know? Yeah, so I man, I can't...
It's about celebrating where you're from,
yeah.
basically.
And who the greats.
Yes.
For me, that was what that
I'm going to
meant to
ask you a couple of questions. These are yes or no questions. You choose this one or you choose that one.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with simple things, and then things are going to get very, very complicated.
Okay.
Okay. Does size matter?
Yes.
Size matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is totally, like, you've totally flipped the script. You know that?
No!
Most people say size doesn't matter. And this is Valentine's Day, by the way. Ninja is different.
Let me tell you, big is big.
Big. They say big is big. I say big is me.
Yes. Big is big.
Big is big.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So, tea or coffee?
Tea. Coffee gives me heart palpitations.
Yes.
And anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And just diets.
But you're so right. Coffee is used as an enema. You know that coffee is used to induce.
I don't know why people do that to themselves, honestly.
Yeah, people like induce, like, shits. People induce shits using coffee. That's really funny.
Yep.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So
okay.
tea. I love tea.
Yes.
I'm currently like on a tea exploration journey.
Yes.
I drink a different tea a day. I think I've been doing that for like since 2025 started.
Hey, so I should come to see your tea collection.
Yes,
and I see if I can
I'll show you a picture.
Give me some chamomile.
So now I've even gotten into the habit of, like, if I know you're going to travel, you know how people are like, "Ndetela perfume." I'm like, "Ndetela chai." The authentic tea from that place. That's the one I want.
Yes.
Yeah.
My cousin was coming back from Japan. I'm bragging now.
And there are some really Japan, China.
Guess what I asked
those
for?
Eastern.
I was like, "Get me that Japanese whiskey." And the one I asked for, she's like, "That one, they no longer produce it, it's only in reserve." The people that have it are not even selling it; they're just keeping it there.
Their collection.
Yes.
Wow.
So I get that whole tea thing. So, are you an urban girl or Charlo or city? City. You love the city better. Yeah.
Of course, as I've grown older, I've grown to appreciate Charlo, just for the calmness, the quietness, the fresh air, the grounding that it brings.
Yes.
But innately, I am a city girl. Yes. Like, I love the sound of the boda bodas. I like to see the taxis get irate. I love, like, being able to wake up.
Fast.
Exactly.
Fast.
Wake up on a Monday and go to any random place in Kampala and hear music and see people happy.
Yes.
I like the grind,
Yes.
The fast paced. In the village, people are so chill. And
Things
I think for me, that's one of my pet peeves. You go off mobile money, you need to send it by 9 to Bakati. What time do they open? 10. Guys. Like, I love my village. And my
Oruchiga Normanya?
Unyankore.
See how I'm good with this language.
They're all the same, though, essentially.
Okay. Eve or Leo Kim?
Eve. Eve has always been more my speed. My mom bought me my first Scorpion album.
Yes.
She regretted it instantly.
Yeah.
The intro sound alone, she was just like, what did I do?
Yes.
I love.
Your mom bought your first Eve album, but the artwork on that was crazy, eh?
It was a Rough Riders.
Yes.
I think she did not know, because she used to. So my mom, like I said, my parents in general.
Yes.
When they knew you liked something, they would really like encourage and So my mom knew I loved music. She knew I loved R&B. She knew I loved hip hop. So she would buy for me, those Black Beat magazines, so Double XL.
Yes.
Yeah.
Double XL Vibe, yes.
And she would make sure that after I've read them, I pull out and then I frame the posters on the wall.
Yeah.
So somehow she even to this day, she's like always been tapped in. My mom is on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, she knows everything that's going on.
Yes.
So I think because of those magazines, Eve was represented as a strong black MC
woman,
but she had not yet understood the kind of music she does.
Yes.
And I think the videos that were being put out at that time were a bit poppish.
Yes.
Satisfaction.
Yes.
Blow your mind.
Yes.
Until she did that project with Rough Riders. Now that was Gangsta Eve.
Yes.
And my mom was
Gangsta
not
Eve.
conversant with Gangsta Eve. When she said,
Scorpion sting that,
get that Scream double. You ain't going nowhere. We made it this far. My mom was like, and you know those days it was a cassette. The way she fidgeted to switch off the radio.
Yes.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, why was I bringing that up? Yeah,
because we're talking about Eve or
I liked,
Kim.
yes, I liked that she could be gangster. I also liked that, and I've said this recently on another podcast.
Yes.
I want and appreciate when a female rapper can present herself as a gangster, but also remain a lady, but also remain an intellectual.
Yes.
You get?
Yes.
And not be put in a box of...
Yes.
Because I'm a rapper and I'm hardcore, but I'm a female, I need to be sexualized. And in as much as I loved Lil Kim, I just felt like that was how she was packaged back in the day.
There was a lot of packaging there, yeah? Even Lil Kim, Nicki Minaj, I feel like there was a little bit of packaging.
And she says it. She says it in her interview. She says that she knew she was talented. She knew she could rap. She was hanging around these rappers, and as much as they empowered her, they also forced her to try and sexualize herself because that is what they were into.
Yes.
You know, she says that. And for me, in as much as I can see why someone would be pushed, because, you know, as they say, sex sells.
Yes.
But it's not the only way.
Yes.
So for me, Eve represented that. And even now, when you just see how her life has elevated.
Have you read her book?
I've been saying since my birthday last year. Anange.
You're waiting for someone, eh?
Loved ones, well-wishers.
Okay.
If you want to get me a gift, that is the perfect gift. I intend to buy it for myself, but I just feel like anyone who gave it to me will really show how much they know and love me.
Okay.
I haven't read her book, but I know that I will enjoy it and most likely relate with a lot of stuff in there.
You will. As a female MC, strong black MC, who loves your craft, like who's so free. Like this chick grew up in the US, but now she's living in London. You know, like it's so...
You saw that picture?
I did see the picture.
On Christmas, where she posted with her entire family on her husband's side. And she's the only black person on the table.
Oh, shit. I haven't seen it.
Oh, my God. I'll show it to you after this.
Yes.
The backlash. They were like, oh, my God.
Like, this is
You've
Eve,
sold
the
out.
queen.
You know? And it's like, why? Those are her in-laws. And she looks quite comfortable to the point where she's posted the picture. Why should we be vexed? Why are we bothered?
Yes.
You know?
I like how she's running her life. I liked her recent interview that she did on Breakfast Club. Like it kind of like opened up a lot of questions that we had as people that loved her music, and she just, you know, disappeared.
It was tough. It was tough for very many female rappers at that time. And if you notice, all of them ended up falling off.
Yeah. Do you like Rhapsody?
I do. For her authenticity. I feel like she's really kept it real and kept it pure.
Yes.
You know, it's just like, she's not trying to commercialize. She's not trying. And recently, she won a Grammy, which I was really happy about because I was like, this chick has been grinding,
and that is what is not selling out. By the way,
this is what is so frustrating about hip hop. You will work for years, and by the time the recognition has come, sometimes even it's past your work.
And for the women, they have to work twice harder. I don't know
thrice,
why.
4 times, because it's a
sexist world.
Not even world. The genre in itself. Is very male-driven, male-centered, male-dominated. So you're already playing against yourself. You're playing, you know how you have home advantage, and then when you go the other side, you're really like swimming, you're struggling to swim to the top.
Yes. Swimming against the current, basically.
That's what it is. Because if you look at the genesis of the hip-hop culture, not even the hip-hop as a genre, but hip-hop culture, it started from hustling. Women were not hustling. They were not on the corners. They were doing other things, but the people who were on the blocks, spitting the bars and spinning the records, they were all men. Then until they realized that, I may have a little sister who's watching what I do, and she could
like
also pick up.
Like Roxanne Shante. Roxanne Shante, yeah. But, you know, that's hip-hop in the Bronx. There's hip-hop also here, around the fireplace.
But it's copy and paste.
No, do you know the real hip hop began like in Africa?
No, but what I'm saying is that the principle of
The industry,
the people
basically.
know
Yeah.
the culture.
Yes.
When you were at the bonfire around the
fireplace.
the fireplace, it was the uncles and grandpas and who were telling the stories.
And the women were listening.
And they were listening. They would add some melody. And sprinkle some songs. Right?
Yeah.
But it's not that, even like for us in Nyankole or Western side, we have Kwivuga. The men would do it from while they're herding cattle. They are walking with the cattle and they're saying all of these things. Sometimes they would use it as a way to get things off their mind. They're talking about where they went and the things they saw and whose daughter they were attracted to and the family she comes from and the whole genesis they're listing. It was not women. You get like so.
Maybe we need to do like a discovery of like the women when they were going to the well. What were they singing?
They were singing, but that is even reflective in the world. Like if you see R&B and all these other genres, they're female. It's very easy to dominate as a female.
Yes.
Because singing was always a feminine thing.
Yeah.
There were people who married based off of the voices they had in the forest. Go following the voice, what? Namata.
Luring this guy, Kwetega, basically. Kwetega. Yeah.
At least as far as my knowledge goes, I may be wrong, but as far as what I know, I feel like that's why that dynamic is like that. But it's changed. Oh my God, now?
Yes.
You see the thing with women that men or people in general don't realize.
Yes.
It's like you give them a baton and they will
run with it. But most smart men know that women have always been running things. Most smart men know that. It's just that
the empowerment to be able to now delve them into new
things. New things. But because when you read about like a Martin Luther story, right? Most people know Martin Luther and they celebrate him. He has a day. But if they tell you the things that Coretta Scott King did, like organizing women like in churches and whatever, like for that 1 Million Man March. Like she was the gangster. Like she was really the gangster.
Yeah.
She was really the gangster moving things. Yeah. But I think everything works in, these partnerships and then, like some men are still living in the dark ages. They see you with your woman all the time. They're like, what you say better no mukazi? But it's because you respect your partner as an equal partner in this, Yeah.
And actually that is something that I've realized in the last maybe 3 years, I've opened my eyes to people who don't respect the male-female dynamic, especially in relationships, are people who do not respect women in general.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And then people will be like, but with
men with small dicks don't respect women because they have to always like overcompensate.
I did not say that, but and then they'll be like, hey, but then he's so good to his mom and he's so good to his daughter.
Yes.
The relationship that men have with their moms and their daughters cannot be equated to their general depiction of women. It's two separate things.
Yes.
But if you see a man who is able to hold his ground and be in communion with women and feel comfortable, or a woman, interact with them, treat them well, treat them kindly, help them. That is a man who genuinely has a respect for women across the board.
Yes. Yeah, it goes without saying, man. That's
because some people pretend, some men pretend. They're like, oh, but in our organization.
When you're, let me ask you a question. When have you ever driven your husband somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Actually, I drive because he hates to drive.
Now that's different.
If we are moving together, and he, like, okay, there are times when now if he's using his car, he'll drive me.
Yes.
But back in that day, in my Vitz.
Yeah.
Hey.
In my
Vitz. Speaking of the devil, I think we are now going into Valentine's program.
Oh, it's like Valentine's mode. But ladies and gentlemen, we're shooting this on Valentine's Day, basically. So I have one question for you. Are you Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
I just feel like that question.
You have to answer this question.
That's it. Oh, okay, yes, hang up. I was diehard Drake because I could not relate with Kendrick's music.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I still don't.
Yeah.
However, I appreciate his artistry.
Mm.
He is a hard worker.
Yes.
He is a lyricist. And the events that have unfolded in the last year have kind of pushed me to revisit his past body of works. Like I used to listen to them, skim through them, but I couldn't say that there was a song that I could sing bar for bar.
But yeah, basically Drake has the women because he's in touch with his emotions.
You could say that. Right. I think for me, it's not even about that. I think, I watched Drake on his TV show.
Yeah. Before
Before
I didn't watch that. I see people say that, but I didn't watch that.
Before he was Drake.
Yes.
So now when he said venturing into music, I was like, Drake, you're singing. Like, what do you mean? And then it's good. It's nice music.
Yes.
And then you've been signed to,
Wayne's label.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? And then at the time I was heavy into Nicki.
Yes.
So it all just
came
together in a way that, like, by the time he blew up, I felt like I had been gatekeeping the Drake I knew, watching his journey unfold slowly. And now here we are, and I'm the one who deserves to be on the front row of that seat.
Yes.
That's how I felt about Drake. It wasn't about as a woman, I connect to his music, It was just, wow, the growth trajectory is crazy.
It's insane, yeah.
But for Kendrick, it just felt like I was not tapped in, and then one day this guy emerged, and people were.
So first of all, I've been following Kendrick. I love both, but I've been following Kendrick since like Section 8. He's that guy who represents like struggle. He represents storytelling. Right. And he's also like a street therapist, basically. He'll tell you about all the bad things that have happened, and then he'll tell you what he's trying to do to make sure that he saves himself. Like, he's that kind of person. And he's so neurotic in a way. He places his words that if this was supposed to be a tool, I don't know, like...
I don't know.
He's neurotic with his art, basically.
Yeah. I don't know. And this is going to sound so controversial as a rapper.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like to lean too much into struggle rap.
Yeah.
I am more drawn to hip-hop artists and rappers that can, like, present their message about different stories.
Yes.
So, like, Tupac had his struggle songs.
Yes.
But he also had other songs.
Yes, but even Kendrick has... Do you know the song by Kendrick and like Rihanna?
No, yes, but what I'm saying is, like, every artist then gets, like, a tag.
Of what you do most. Yeah.
And for me, I've noticed, and I guess I need to, like, really do a deep dive as to why that kind of music pushes me away. Yeah. But any of those artists that are heavy on the struggle rap...
Yes.
I will like them, but I will not fall in love with them. And I think it's because, for me, rap is like an escape, supposed to be like a very light, very happy, like it's supposed to be like a restful place.
Yes.
In as much as like the core and principles of rap are introspectiveness most times. Yes. There's a presentation to it that I prefer. And most times it's not that, the aggressive Chi-Town or... where Kendrick comes from, Compton type energy.
Yes. No, and I totally understand that.
Because even like this this new wave, Manya Flow Mili, where they are so aggressive and they are abusing, I can't.
So you don't like trap music. You don't like the gangster trap music. You like the loud. You like a 50 Cent who sings.
Yeah.
Or you like a Ja Rule.
Or an Eminem who go in, but like... there's a catchy hook something that I can repeat.
I get that.
Yeah.
So Kendrick comes from the other one of like hip hop comes out of struggle. So actually,
and I said this, and I recently
one of the reasons why Drake lost this battle is not because Drake put up some like really good battle songs. He fired back, but the thing is, they baited him into saying things like, "You're rapping like you're trying to free the slaves." Like that, he lost like, even people were like supporting him.
Yeah.
The females and whatever, they were like, huh? They kind of baited him into that, and he lost like half the crowd
He did.
on that. Yeah,
He did. I mean, I feel like there's a difference. And what's funny is I tweeted about this recently. I said,
Yes.
I've always wondered why to be considered as a legitimate hip hop artist or a
That
rapper,
you need to have struggle?
you need to rap
Yes,
about
yes,
struggle.
yes,
and
yes.
if you're rapping about anything else,
Yes.
it is illegitimate.
Yeah.
You are not, and this happens even today. I know there are certain rappers who have really pushed the hip hop culture of
Yes.
Uganda far.
Yes.
But people will never respect them because in their minds they're like, oh, he makes bubblegum hip hop, or he's just doing trendy music, or oh, it's just about collaborations. And I'm like, but it's still hip hop music.
Yes,
Why?
yes.
Why are we the judge and the jury? Someone can rap. They've written
I
their
think
bad.
it's usually towards the crowd to judge. And actually, I don't like that music is in a space where every song that's put out is put in a magnifying glass and everybody is trying to see what's wrong
But this
with
has
it.
been happening.
Yeah.
Now we have the tools.
But the problem with most of these people, I think where the problem comes in is that if you're not coming from struggle, don't say I've struggled.
No, that's okay, and I agree
Yes,
with that.
yes.
It's the same way I used to have a very big problem with. That's why when you said 50 Cent, I was like, with the level of braggadocio. Like you're in Kampala in Uganda.
Yes.
You're rapping about a Lamborghini who no one has.
Yes.
Like it's not even that you don't have it.
Yes.
No one in Kampala is driving a Lamborghini. Why are you rapping about unrelatable messages?
Yes.
That's a different thing. But I'm saying, me as Cynthia, I have my own versions of struggle.
Yes, yes. Struggle is relative.
It's relative.
Yes, yes.
But who's to say that for me, mine does not qualify to be in the hip hop genre because it's not that type of struggle people are used to.
Yes, yes.
That's
yes.
my issue.
Yes, because at the end of the day, hip hop is self-expression.
Thank
It's
you.
self-expression.
Thank you.
So your struggle is different from so-and-so's struggle, but it's how you paint that story and that narrative.
Yes.
Where the problem comes in is we all go through struggle. Omuntu akulabanga ova kawempe, you have your struggles. Omuntu nakulabanga ova kololo, even a kololo kid has their struggles.
They do.
They could have like a very rich kid
But
who,
there's already
who
a
never hugged them. Ochiraba, that's like a very huge struggle.
Yeah.
Ochiraba. But the problem where it comes in, I think, for most people is that the people listening to you, it's that's where the authenticity comes in.
And yet they're going to abuse me if I come and I'm rapping about my 10 bodyguards and my things which I've actually lived. So what do you want me to do?
But here's the thing. The approach, I think, the best approach is not to rap about, because most people say, who have never lived struggle, again, try to imitate the story of the one who struggled. Like they say, I'm a hustler when they have never hustled.
No, but
But the story is, remember Sean Paul?
Uh-huh.
Sean Paul comes from a wealthy family in Jamaica. He never so when he comes up, he's like, I'm not going to sing about struggle like reggae people. I'm not going to sing about, I came up, I didn't eat, the burning spears and the bujus. He's not going to do that. So what did he do? Give me the light. He's singing songs for girls. Ochilaba. The problem where I think most people began torching our guy, Drake, is Kendrick exposed him as, okay, you're a guy from Canada. Canada has a sound, right? When you come to Atlanta, you sound like Atlanta. When you come to New York,
the cultural appropriation.
No, you're basically an actor in music that for you, as long as because hip-hop is self-expression, that self has to be authentic, right?
Right.
There's nothing wrong with you talking about your cars, your bodyguards. If you had them, that's fine. That's your story.
No,
I was born in royalty. I was born in But then
now
there is,
again, bring it back to here in Uganda.
Yes.
Because of our conservative nature.
Yes.
And the fact that we're always expected to be humble.
Yeah.
There is already a clash there.
I know.
You understand?
I know.
Hip hop is a braggadocious,
I love to
confident.
brag. Every time I brag, people are like, why he's always bragging? Self-expression, my nigga.
Now I'm going to come, use my self-expression, my bars, to paint a clear picture of my reality.
Yes.
And you're going to now judge me. Do you understand? That's the thing. There's no winning.
But at the end of the day, Ninja, the thing is that who's judging you?
No, the audience. First of all, I think for me personally, hip hop.
But at the end of the day, the question is, people are going to judge whether you want it or not.
No, yes,
But at the end of the day, are the ninjas okay? You get me? At the end of the day, I think as artists, what we need to ask ourselves is, are the ninjas okay? The people that consumed my Soda Ginger Ale record, the people that have seen me grow, right? I'm not going to rap about poverty. I have people in poverty. I can do that retrospectively, like a Jay-Z does and whatever. But that's not his reality right now. So I can brag about being in Milan, drinking some, something expensive, and enjoying models, and enjoying, like being on a vineyard. But in the same way, in the same breath or the same verse or the same song or in the same album, I'm going to tell you about what my grandmother did and the series of events that landed me there. That yatunganga chalani nasomesa mutabani we so mutabani we could dream for me to live this.
But now you see
that story is connected. But still I'm bragging about being somewhere foreign, sipping something these niggas ain't used to buying.
And it should be okay. But now you asked, are my ninjas okay?
Yes.
Sometimes it be that phrase, it be your own people. Huh? You have, because already, let's put it like this.
I like
it's
that.
Not like hip hop. It's not like hip hop, and especially again, let me bring it back home.
Yes, please.
It's not like hip hop fans are many. First of all, the hip hop genre is niche.
Yes.
It's not that there are that many. So when I say the people, me, I'm talking about those ninjas that you're talking about.
Yes.
It's not that everyone.
The ones.
So today, I'll sing about, or just do like a happy go lucky
that
song.
song about with you and Price Table, what's it about? I liked it.
Me and Price Table. It was a cipher.
It was a cipher.
It was a cipher organized by Big Ben.
Oh,
the UG.
So that wasn't your song.
What song?
The song that you've just premiered. I'm giving people news that with the song that you just did, premiered or played a little bit at Drop.
On the Road.
It's called On the Road.
It was like a
Who's
electric.
it with?
It's with LG and Tie-Dye.
And Okay, now. Okay. Tie-dye is like, I like tie-dye, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I thought it was with Teva.
No.
Oh.
The only song I have with Teva is the UG's Finest Cipher, which Big
Where
Ben
you killed
organized.
nearly everybody. The ninja left with heads in a backpack.
I mean, true to character. But anyway, what I was saying is that the ninjas themselves, one day, they will have the thing that they're used to me doing. But then let's say I wake up tomorrow and I want to switch up. There's always that limitation of, now what is she
What's
doing?
the ninja
What is
doing?
it? It's like, not everything needs to be nitpicked. Like it or don't like it, accept it as what I'm putting out as my art.
Yes.
Don't be prejudiced to me because of my background or what my reality is.
Yes.
Probably the same reason why there are rappers I like and rappers I don't like. Because I'll listen to something and I can't connect to it, and I'll listen to something else and I can't connect to it. And it should be okay.
Yes.
I don't feel that I should be judged because I can't relate to something.
Yes.
That is the life God gave me,
Yes.
And that is the point I'm trying to put across.
Yes. So,
because that's why you end up finding these people
but
rapping about struggle when they've never experienced struggle because they want to be accepted.
Like, don't rap about it. Like, just be you. At the end of the day, just be you.
Just be you,
At the end of the day, just be you. I've forgotten the point I was going to make. Like, do you know that sometimes it bees your own, like that thing you say.
Be your own.
Be your own.
And in Uganda...
You know that song called The Rose in Harlem? By this chick was on Kanye's label.
Caesar?
No.
A rapper?
No. R&B singer on Kanye's label.
Kanye. Oh.
Yeah. She has that song where she goes, look it up. I think people on this, you're going to like it. But she says it be the ones, the ones that you're closest to that always judge you. But it's the people actually who admire you, who love what you do, who don't want you to change because you coming out and giving them all this music, you as Cynthia, you're basically a part of their story, their nostalgia, that they don't want you to change.
But I'm an artist and I am sensitive about my art.
Exactly.
And
They don't give a fuck about any of your
yes,
sensitive
and
shit.
that's why
They
I'm
just
saying.
want Cynthia.
Yes, but at the end of
Yeah,
that day,
yeah.
Cynthia will evolve. Cynthia will change. Her
I know.
experiences. What happened to me recently? I was asked such an interesting question.
Yeah.
Who would win a rap battle? Ninja C of 5 years ago or Ninja C of now?
I think I would bet on the Ninja C of now.
Imagine, no?
Yeah, but who was saying that the Ninja C of back in the day would win?
Me.
You were saying that
Yeah.
Ninja C of back in the day would
Yeah.
win? I don't think so.
Because now, the position that I'm in and the way my life has, the turn that it has taken,
Yeah.
there are things that I cannot say or express.
Okay, so the blows wouldn't land, eh?
I would do it in a different way, but not with that cutting edge.
You know, like babushka. You know babushka, eh? You think that you're a different person, but that person is right there.
Exactly.
That person, as long as you undo these
Yes,
things
but
like this.
but
one time you just go sit in the corner and be like, but, Joe, I can really mess you up.
Yeah.
And then you're going to take off this Cynthia and then
I
give
know,
us Ninja C.
exactly. And I know, but it would have to be Ninja C of 5 years ago that I'm
Yes.
pulling out, not Ninja C of now.
Of course. Oh, I see what you're saying.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, as artists, we need
Yeah.
to be given that freedom. We need to be given that leeway
Yeah.
to grow, to express ourselves. Because at the end of the day, it's my music.
Yes.
You're the one consuming. You either take it or you don't take it. And I'm saying this, and I'm really pushing up on this point because also here in Uganda, the negativity culture is so real.
It's so real, yeah.
People are so quick. You'll be doing good music for 10 years. The moment something happens, whether it's a scandal or you do a song that's not that great according to the population, or you fall from grace. That is the thing that they want to magnify.
I'll quote two modern philosophers. The first one was Dave Chappelle, who said, "Nothing pleases a coward than to see a brave man fall."
So are we all cowards in Uganda?
No. There are mob cowards. I'm only saying that there are many cowards because there's so many people who don't like you to experiment. But then the other one is for the artist, us, yeah? It's by this dude called Pablo Picasso. He said, the role of the artist is not to be there explaining the art. Like, if people like it, they like it. If they don't like it, they don't like it. If they don't like it, they don't like it. Same thing of the book I was reading by Rick Rubin. I think it's called The Artist or something like that. But it's about creativity and how artists get to what allows you to create more and not like be bogged down by overthinking things. Is the universe gives you these things so you can put them out. It's not your job to explain the art. So you paint, put it out. Paint, put it out. And guess what? People think that Leonardo da Vinci in a Mona Lisa, your car, they think they only have the Mona Lisa. But this guy painted many pictures you don't know about.
Yeah.
You get me? But it's the same artist who kept on giving people.
But you are
Yeah.
coming at all this from the artist
Yeah.
perspective.
Yes.
I am trying to focus on the audience. I'm trying to push a message to the audience, not from an artist perspective.
Yes.
And again, this is to the Uganda as a culture,
Yes.
as a country.
Yes.
We need to stop pushing the negativity
Yes.
agenda.
Yes.
Most artists, for them to thrive,
Yeah.
require a conducive environment. You've just said it,
True.
right?
Yes.
We have, creativity is not going to stop with me and you.
Yes.
We have generations after generations after generations of people who want to get into that space.
True.
How this art is received, and not from a subjective point of view,
Yes.
but more overall objective, whether you like it or you don't like it, what you prefer and what you don't prefer, your tastes and whatever.
Yeah.
Creativity and creatives need a conducive environment. And as Ugandans, I think, we need to get into the spirit of cheering good work on louder than we cheer negative experiences.
So if what our mothers say, what do they say?
You'd
You have
rather keep quiet.
If you have nothing
to
good
say.
to say, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless it's constructive.
Excuse my Swahili. If you don't have something nice to say, you better keep quiet.
Yes.
Than say something negative.
It doesn't need to come from, because there's constructive. This is why I said, and I'm glad we're here.
Yes.
Can finally address it. When Sir was on the Baboon Forest pod talking about the hip hop awards.
Yes. Which Sir?
And one of the issues was dress code.
Oh, here we go now. She's here. I told you she was coming. She's here. Okay.
One of the issues was dress code.
Yes.
So many people were surprised by my reaction and my rebuttal.
Yes.
Because they were like, hey, we thought you were going to go off on him. And I said, no, he had a point.
Yes.
And I heard that point. And I understood why it was important for him to make that point. Because we want to grow something and we want it to be big.
He didn't even show up today, by the way. Because he knew you were coming. He knew you were coming.
People be saying these things.
Him up.
People be saying these things and don't want to say them to me with their chest. Listen, I'm giving you the power. Next time you meet me, please, you can make this comment with your chest. If you know you said it out of pure intention.
Yes.
We say some of these things because we want things to improve.
True.
Right?
True. Yeah.
But what I don't want is someone to just say something because they are bashing.
Mm-hmm.
You have no context.
Yes.
Being a creative is a very difficult thing. It looks easy because we make it look easy.
I make it look easy. You make it look
exactly.
easy. Everybody makes it
Everybody
look easy.
makes it look easy, but if you gave an A-type person the opportunity to do that, they won't. So, that being said, when people put out bodies of work, when people do things that are worth being celebrated, let's celebrate. Your tastes and preferences can come in after.
But
And
first celebrate something.
First be like...
Find something positive to say first, yes.
Be like, that music video, that jacket that he wore on scene 2, minute 3:21. I was not feeling it.
Yeah. But if you have nothing nice to say, just
it's also
keep quiet.
okay.
It's okay.
Because this is how markets like Nigeria, markets like South Africa, markets like the US, markets like the UK, they will bash, but they will first push.
Oh yeah, they'll push first actually.
They will bash quietly. But when it comes to like public, it's like that thing that they say, don't shame your child or your parent or your whatever when you're in public. You can go home and you say what you're saying behind closed doors.
Yes.
But don't do it when we're in people.
I'm glad that you're saying that. Could you please relay the same message to all these rappers I see going on TV and saying hip-hop does not sell? I'm like, how you guys stuck in a negative feedback loop about the same thing that you do? Like, I make money from hip-hop. I don't know how you say that we don't make money from this genre. Like, people always go on TV and talk about how hip-hop is this, hip-hop is that. It's like they're stuck in a negative loop. That if when you begin mentioning examples of how hip-hop makes money in this culture and in this country, you're like, oh, I never thought about that. But you're supposed to be the first ambassador for this that we do. But when you see these people on NTV...
I'm laughing because there have
NBS,
been instances, for example, where I've said things along the lines of the media industry, for example. TV, radio doesn't pay as well as it should in Uganda. And for me, what you're saying, I would say from that same context of the hip-hop industry in Uganda doesn't pay as well as it should or it can. For many.
Yes.
You know, for many.
Yes.
And that is their reality. And I think it's okay for them to express that. I just feel like maybe what you're saying is to generalize it, to make it seem like, tomorrow if someone, Bella, wanted to join hip-hop, she's not going to make money from it.
Because the reason why I say that is I've had a country tour where I collected 250 Nezukomi Waka. And then the next year I went and did the same thing and made 300. And then I've had promoters come to me and pay me lump sums of money. I've had people endorsements, but before, and I'm saying this because before any of that ever happened, the narrative was, your music takola wano. That they like told my manager, told whoever was organizing the show, they told the events person, they told the sponsor, they told everybody. So it took more legwork for us to be
Right.
like, you know what, just believe in us first, we know what we're talking about. But because we know what we're talking about and you see the potential and you see the crowds out there that are invisible to most of the mainstream media. Because they used to say, hip-hop tajuza chisawe, tasola kujuza chisawe. Oyo mwana akoze mistake. And it's be like, but I'm in Kasubi, I'm in Nakawa, I'm in Makere, I'm in...
Help me check
Yeah.
on.
Like you're in all these places and you're seeing how people are singing your songs lyric by lyric. Like,
You know,
right?
I get
So
it.
it's for me,
And I
that's the
agree.
same thing that's my personal experience.
Yes, I was going
right?
to say,
Yes.
sometimes
Yeah.
one thing that I've learned over the last 3 years,
Yes.
life has humbled me, I will not lie,
Yeah.
is there are things someone can say from privilege,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And then there are things, another perspective will bring to the table that from your angle, you don't understand why someone would say that.
Yeah.
Do you know
yeah.
that there is someone who has probably been doing this hip hop thing longer than you and I, and they've never gotten even close to 1 million shillings? And it's not because the genre can't make that money,
Yeah.
or the music that they're doing can't make that money. They just don't have the technical know-how or know-who to make that happen.
Yeah.
So that's where now things like skilling or
yeah.
these workshops
Yes.
come in handy, because they bridge the gap between a one-day moment for this guy's life to be turned around.
I was telling you about how much money we made from this hip hop game. And actually, even after I came back, I've just been turning away shows.
Must be nice.
It must be nice. It must be nice.
No, but like.
But it's not, I'm not turning them away because Sizagala. It's because brand ekuze. And I believe the production I want to give my fans is different.
It's different, yeah.
Yeah, but I also understand the other angle you are talking about.
You sowed the seeds.
Yeah,
You sowed the seeds, so you can do that.
Yes,
you know why
yes.
I want to make that very clear?
Yes.
I work a lot with
Yes.
the young artists, like I
Yes.
mentioned. And
Yes.
one of the things that has really been mind-boggling for me is turning away shows before you even do a show.
You can't.
And then still expecting to be
Yes,
considered to be booked.
Yes.
People are booked based off of recommendation. I saw that guy on stage 3 times,
was
and
nice.
each time he killed it. Now, if you're turning away shows,
Yes.
maybe because the money is not your worth, which I understand, you know, sometimes you have to also be aware of your worth. But also understand the point in the career that you are at.
Yes.
If you tell me you've turned away the show because it does not align with your values or with your brand as an artist, I can understand that.
Or the sponsor does not align with what I believe in.
I personally, when I was doing TV, radio, even music, I don't do alcohol brands because I don't drink.
Yes.
But that's just a personal thing.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So if someone explains to me from that angle, I get it.
Yes.
But if you're just telling me I turned away a show to turn away a show, and then 3 months down the line you're telling me, I don't know why guys don't book me. It's crazy.
Yes.
People who are turning away shows, or people who are being picky and selective with the kind of work that are doing, some of them have already sowed the seeds and have built up their brand to where it is. Others have a unique style that they want to stay representing and a lane that they want to stay in, and you cannot just sway them to do anything.
Yes.
And others are, it's a morality thing. If you don't lay in any of those 3 categories that I've just mentioned,
take the show.
get the experience.
Get the money.
Get the money.
Network. And here's the thing too, like most of these things, and I'm not saying this to brag, but sometimes you just turn away the show because your time is better used doing something else than traveling to Mbarara for a fee, which you don't think is worth your time.
Which is why I said some people have sown the seeds.
Yeah, but I've also seen, the point you made earlier where you said, oh, gee, you're telling me about all these things you did and the money that you guys made out of this. But there are people ababaddewo nga takolangako wadde akakadde out of this music. I'm not oblivious of that fact. But I wanted to also highlight that when that person is right to express their story of Gamma Man, the hip hop Sam Kolamusente. But I know people who are in the advertising world right now, right? Where every advertising idea or even dressing up character or even like the way that they are thinking and the way that they're strategizing, they got all of that from hip hop. So hip hop, it transcends just the music. Naberanga, I know people in education who go to international schools and teach in these schools. Ngatakolanga yo hit ya hip hop wadejo. But they're a teacher, and what do they teach? They teach character, they teach confidence, they teach team building, they teach like so many things. Dance. Someone again dokuveyo, galina skills baina. This person is a leader of like 20 teachers who do that. To me, that is hip hop. Like when I'm thinking about hip hop Takola Saint, I'm like, but how about this example of this guy that I know? How about this designer that I know? How about this advertising executive that I know? How about this guy that I know doing like Nzendaba examples where I take it from the thing of Bampis okugenda ku stage okuyimba, like I'm called to be on stage and booked to be on stage. I'm talking about I was booked to speak, I was booked to curate, I was booked to produce, I was booked to do this campaign, I was booked to teach, to design a behavior change communication campaign. These are things that rappers are doing. There's a rapper I know who also failed to make a hit. Then we had a speech, then we had a heart-to-heart conversation. Every time I'm hearing what you're saying, right? I don't see the hustle in you. Because you can tell that this person is not on top of their hustle. But I knew that this guy was great at copywriting. Right now, alimu copywriting, alimu advertising. That's his calling. But where does he get his energy, his drive, and his inspiration? It's all hip-hop.
Right.
So
that is such
that's my perspective.
Yeah, that's a very valid point.
Yeah.
And I think, I guess, for that person who I was representing, who cannot relate to what you're saying,
yeah,
it would be a sort of wake-up call in the sense of how can I evolve?
Yeah.
What can I change? Because sometimes they may not have had a hit ever, or they may not have experienced the things you're talking about because of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Right? I remember having a very deep conversation with Yala, and she told me the kind of music I was doing, I realized it was going to take a while for Ugandans to appreciate.
Yes.
So I carried it from here, and I took it to where I felt
yes, and there's a very important statement which you've been referring back to, and I felt there's that statement of like here in Uganda, yet Nzewembanda Cynthia and the Ninja C brand. And this I think is for all of the other artists that listen to us, right? Like, your fans might not be local.
Right.
They might not be here.
Yeah.
So people might comment about how this and that, but at the end of the day, you need to recognize that maybe, just maybe, I have 100,000 fans from Kampala. Tugambe na 10,000 from Kampala. And then I'm going to collect another 1,000 from Nairobi, Kinshasa. And before you know it, this whole thing that's called Ninja is all over. It's global.
Yeah.
Because they understand the message, they understand who you are, they understand your humor and what you're giving them. I've seen brands Ninja Nyezaba artist Wanonga. You're not supposed to be local. No matter how many times they tell you kuyimba nyimba ze chibala and how to convince people here to like you, like what you're creating is so unique, it belongs somewhere totally different.
Yeah.
You don't need to expand no gamba. You know what? Here, I'm only looking for one travel opportunity. And that's what, to go showcase what I do. And yeah.
And that's what happened with Yala.
Yeah.
So all that to say that, like, I guess this discussion, hopefully, I would want to see it yield an open-mindedness.
Yes.
But also bridging the gap between what we know and what is possible.
Yes, yes.
Because for some people, it stays in their mind,
yes.
or they haven't even fathomed it.
Yes.
And maybe that is why I told you there's a strong needle in me. I know I said focusing on women, just because as women, there are also other things that we need to delve into.
Yeah.
But there's a strong needle in me that's really pushing me in that direction of empowerment, motivation,
Yes.
skilling.
Yes.
Because what you and me are talking about seem
To some-
like,
yeah.
to some people, they're like, huh?
Yeah.
I have an audience. Where? How do I even get that
How do I even
information?
get to it?
How do I
yeah.
even get where?
Well, we are doing a baboon forest workshop, by the way, this March where you're invited to facilitate and be a part of this.
Thank you.
But it's a
Women's
content,
Month.
it's a content creators, thank you for that as
Yes.
well. It's a content creators workshop, and basically we want hip-hop creators and also people who create content for products.
Yeah. We need that because remember,
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, I'm sure you remember.
Yeah.
For me in 2013, 14, when I was starting out, I think the thing that really brought this pressure to the surface and pushed me was the constant meetings. Every week, I remember for that period, from 2013 to maybe 16,
Yeah.
there were constant meetups, events, functions happening.
Yes.
And these are strictly hip-hop,
Yes.
not to say general music, strictly hip-hop. In fact, to the point that people felt that hip-hop as a genre had more of a community than any other. Because
other.
Chidandali is,
Yeah.
tomorrow we like it, tomorrow
I think
we
it
don't.
was ruined by Yuga Flow and Luga Flow.
No.
When those two factions split, I think that really broke what community was.
True.
Yeah.
But maybe there's also, the pandemic, I feel like slowed things down a lot.
Yeah.
But also just the general feeling that the genre was not growing fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like we're past that now.
Yeah.
It has shown its longevity.
Yes.
It has proved its weight.
Yes.
Because by now, based on the events of our country musically, hip-hop should have died out long ago. But by the fact
From
that
how they have been speaking about it.
speaking about it,
Yes,
moving about it,
Yes.
just even
Sidelining about it.
yes, and even the
yes.
number of artists who are interested in going into it based on what the information they have reducing. For example, like I keep saying this, we need more female rappers.
We actually do. We
We had a
more.
season where there was a sporadic
Yes.
hike
Yes.
in the numbers, and that is where it has remained.
Yes.
And yet, that is not to say that they're not there, because me, I've met them. They're
yes.
there.
Yes.
But their willingness and their zeal to push to a point of longevity, absolutely zero.
Yes. Yes.
So this is where these communities, these functions, these workshops, these discussions come into play, so that people are aware, they open their minds. It's not just some fictitious, bubble in the air. They're
Yes.
part of hip-hop, that's where it ends. No.
So I think you and I mentioned the workshop actually because you mentioned that you're starting this mentorship thing. I want to invite you to this workshop. But also when you're doing your mentorship, I want to offer time if I'm needed. This is a women thing.
No.
I don't want to be like the man
I have it. No.
oversplaining.
I have it on record.
Oversplaining.
No, I have it on record.
Yes.
I am a product of being empowered by both my mother and my father
Yes.
in equal measure.
Yes.
There were skills my mother harnessed that my father couldn't, and there were skills
Your
my
mother
father.
Ernest.
Yes. That my father couldn't, and there are skills my
Ernest.
father
Yeah.
shaped
Yes.
that
yes,
my
yes.
mom couldn't.
Yeah.
And as a result, my life has been a testimony of one leg up from a man. I think I got my first internship with the help of Rudende. I wrote my
Ruden, they put you into the
radio.
the news thing.
I told him what I wanted to do.
Yes.
I was like, how do I get in? When do I even
How
start?
do I even start?
Do I go straight to CEO, to
Yes.
Kapshenga, and say, I want to work here? What
Yes.
is the protocol?
Yes.
He said, you write the letter asking for the internship,
Yes.
attach your CV or documentation, blah,
Yes.
blah, blah,
Yes.
bring it to me.
Meanwhile, most Ugandans assume that you kids who have the legacy kids.
Did I not say my parents?
I know.
What about
but,
that?
But it's also important to inform people and tell them, people apply and then you have to do it through.
My dad was never about, I don't, anyway, maybe most likely there are even people who are not in our family.
Yes.
Who he helped.
Yes.
But us, any opportunity, I'll speak for myself. I don't want to speak generally. Then my siblings say, me, I got my job through. Me, there is no single opportunity that my dad helped me get.
Yes.
There is no single opportunity
I took you to school
that my mom helped me get.
Yes.
If it happened, it was a situation of, just parents bragging normally. My child does this. She's studying this, da-da-da-da-da.
Yes.
Oh, really? Da-da-da-da.
Yes.
Next thing, I find myself in a position where I have to explain.
Yes.
And the impression that I've left is what gets me the opportunity. But never, ever did they say, go to so-and-so, show them this message, about what. No.
Yes.
So I've just given you an example of how a man
Yes.
helped me get a step through the door.
Yes. Shout out to Rudende, by the way.
And from that moment on, Big Chill was my first co-presenter.
Yes.
He was nice to me.
You taught him everything.
He taught me everything. I found him there. He could have been. I've worked.
Yes.
I have friends.
Triz is such an amazing guy.
Yeah,
by
I
the
have
way.
friends, and even I personally have worked with certain people who will want to sabotage you. Because in media, because the slots are so few, there is that competition thing.
Yes.
He never did that.
Yes.
Had he decided to, I would not be where I am today.
Yes.
So I don't believe in men to one side, women to one side.
Yes.
I just feel that as women, there are struggles that men can't understand.
Yes.
However, because we work together to make each other better, it would be helpful to have men part of the journey to uplifting women.
So whenever you're holding these mentorship programs and you feel I'm needed, I'm here.
Yay!
Thank you for coming through. You have no idea how much we've been waiting for this at BFE, because we are fans of Ninja C.
I absolutely appreciate that. When I wake up in the morning.
Yes.
And I thank God for that episode, I guess, because now when I wake up in the morning,
you dress up.
I'm like, listen, I have people in this world that will go to war for me. Can you say the same?
Yes.
We're not on the same level. Listen.
Yeah, I pulled my sword out like this.
Your katana, eh?
My katana. I was like, huh? What?
You were saying?
People don't know we are ninjas.
Yes.
But we love you. We admire what you do.
Amen.
We've seen you grow all through the year.
Literally.
I have seen you like literally.
Do you know you've actually seen me? When we're talking about my career college,
yes.
You've seen me
in
a yellow uniform.
Yes.
Unfortunately for me, I don't know if you guys ever did what they call memoir book. What was that? It was like a book where when you're going to finish S4, S6,
you write
people write messages. Now, while I would make my friends write, when people would come for those school tours, I had a message from LG. I had a message from Maurice Curia. I even have the picture of Maurice Curia writing in that book.
Yes.
Now, I have my short hair and my yellow uniform.
Yes.
How I survived getting girls, I think you were like, Maze. When you're a superstar, then you go straight into the car.
Yes.
But I do remember that day very vividly.
Yes.
And I've said this on another podcast as well.
Yeah.
Directly or indirectly, one thing that artists have to remember is that you may not see it, but there is someone whose life you touch just by being you, just by the art you're creating, or just by the message just you're spreading.
Yes.
And it's not until years later someone will come and tell you that you start to acknowledge and realize the impact that you have.
Yes.
So we need to, that's why I was saying that thing about Ugandan culture. We need to always try to positive vibes.
Actually, to quite a negativity. Which could be negative. I think that's the only thing like really dialing our country down. There's a lot of negativity out there. And it's up to us to actually like do something about it.
Truly.
We are the change that we want to see.
Yes.
You are the change that we are seeing, by the way. More female MCs in the industry.
Listen.
Best female rapper of the year. Congratulations again.
Clock that tea.
Yes. Banang, neighbor. You're becoming neighbor.
Yeah,
becoming neighbor.
Yeah.
We wish you all the best.
Thank
please,
you.
you're always welcome here. We feel like you've cheated us. We need a part two.
Part two.
Yes,
incoming.
we need a part two. And whenever you're doing that workshop, please reach out, and would like to be a part of the growth and the future that we would like to see. Ninja C mu building and later. To all the ninjas out there, Banange, stop asking us to bring Ninja C. We have brought her. We have brought her. Hey,
Sips water.
Sips water.
Cheers.
Cheers.